Hey everyone, welcome back to another tier list video. Hope you're all doing well and just having a wonderful day. So yeah, back to Fire Emblem tier list this time. And man, this feels really nostalgic because now we're doing Fire Emblem Fates. So yeah, one of the bigger Fire Emblem games, and for me, really important one, because the hype leading up to it, trying to get the game from the first place, holy shit, that was a nightmare. But also, like, for a lot of people, especially when I changed my identity from Crash X500 to Blazing Knight, oh man, fucking going way back. The Fates font is where a lot of people found my videos and found my channel, so doing Fire Emblem Fates tier list, you know, it feels right to, it just feels right coming back to this game. It's been a while since I've covered it, well, specifically, because, you know, just other stuff. But yeah, so, and also this was quite highly requested. People really wanted to see what, like, how I tackle Fates regarding certain tier lists and certain attributes. So, yeah, especially because my opinion over time has changed. It's been such a long time, you know, it's been since Fates came out, for me in the thing, it's been 6 years, holy crap. Well, almost 6 years. Oh boy. But anyway, so yeah, we've got 3 tier lists lined up today. The first one is the whole, how good are they romantically for the characters and stuff like that. The second one is personal skills. I know I did a video on this, but like I said, my opinions have changed, but we're also looking at all of them, not just like my 10 favorite, and even then opinions will be different now. And finally, personal weapons. Now, when I say personal weapons, I'm talking about the ones which, like, you know, either they're a legendary weapon for the Lord, so Siegfried, Reginto, Brunhilde, the Yato and Fujinumi, or in the other case, you've got like Camilla's axe, Baruka's axe, Tsubaki's pike, you know, Hana's katana, those weapons. Because those are a thing of Fates where, unless they really stick out, they're often overlooked. I thought it'd be nice to, you know, just give them a look and see what they're like. Because, again, some of them could be really cool, some of them could be fucking atrocious. But it's just going to be interesting to see, because, you know, looking into this is quite interesting, and it'll be a nice topic to cover. Okay, so for the first tier list, we're going to do the whole, you know, relationship stuff. And once again, this is just purely on the grounds of how I feel they would do romantically. So it's not so much how good are they, like, as a character in terms of writing. That kind of helps. But it's more so, how would they fare if you wanted to be in a relationship with them in terms of just, like, the emotional support, the fun factor, what appeal do they have, what, like, you know, what do they have going against them, this, that, and the other. Same as before, like with the child units, again, I've never married any of the child units, but I'll judge them fairly because I know some people do. And there are some, like, other boss characters, not all of them, just a few. I think they only, like, had the really big ones, so I'll look into them as well. But there's a cat, like, and also there's 2 Jacobs for some reason. No, I can imagine for some people they want 2 Jacobs. But yeah, so we'll just do this, that, and the other. And who shall we start with? Where's the last land? Benny. Okay, we'll start with Benny. Benny, I would put in, straight up, I'd put him in King tier, because Benny is a sweetheart. Like, again, he looks, he can look intimidating, but he's not, like, ill-tempered. He's not, like, got a, he's not one of those ones where he's super insecure or anything. He's a genuine sweetheart. You know, he's good at making like those wooden charms and so on. And he's got such a sweet smile as well. Again, Benny is such a lovely dude. You know, he's not boring or anything like that. He's a bit stoic, but not boring, or like, he doesn't try to avoid people. People try to avoid him. He is genuinely lovely guy, and I think Benny is an absolute sweetheart. And again, when he smiles, oh my god, it's so precious. It's just like, oh, he's a big friendly giant, and I love him. He's absolutely, yeah. And the only reason I wouldn't put him in, like, God tier is because, again, like, he is a bit quiet and stoic. Like, if he was a bit more, I know he, like, I know, like, people distance him because of the look, and that doesn't matter to me, but if he was more active in approaching people, it would have helped. But yeah, God, he's such a sweetheart, that guy. I love him. Whew, right, next. Alright, so yeah. And the tiers are the same, but there's one more tier. There's the just no tier. We'll get to that eventually. Forest. Okay, so Forest is actually kind of like, you know, I'd put Forest in King as well. Granted, you know, I've never got away in child units, but if I had to, I'd put Forest in King, because Forest is a sensitive sweetheart, but also still has the courage to stand up for himself. He's obviously a highly fashionable, very beautiful young man, and, you know, he is just a genuinely lovely guy, and he's really passionate about what he loves, but also I like that he has the confidence and the, you know, he's got the resolve to just go about doing this just because he loves it. And again, he only does it because it's for him. It's just like, for him, it's what brings him happiness. He's so good at it. Roll with it. And when he's with other people, he's just a genuinely lovely soul. Again, he can be kind of timid at times, but, you know, Forrest is a genuinely lovely dude. Like, for some people who probably either skipped over this stuff, it's like, wait, that's a dude? Bruh! But yeah, Forest is great. So yeah, starting in the King Tier, not bad. Soleil. Okay, because I know Soleil has some really big fans. Soleil is kind of like Hilda for me. I'd put in the boyfriend-girlfriend. Soleil would be a shit ton of fun to go out with. You go on a date, you have a fucking awesome time. It's great, and depending on how things go, it could go further than there. But during that date, you'd walk past someone, Soleil would be like, hey, pretty thing. She would just like, again, it's like that whole distracted boyfriend meme, but it's Soleil, and it's like every 5 seconds she just turns elsewhere. It's like, yeah. So that's why commitment-wise it would be kind of difficult, but she would be so much fun. Soleil is just a charming, flandiferous woman. I don't even know if flandiferous is a word, but it is now. Oh yeah, so Soleil is a lot of fun. Fuck no. I don't know. You know what, like, just know is when it's like, don't even bother. I put Hayato and get fucked, because I don't know, I don't even want to protect him. Hayato's a little shit. He's got the whole, it's not rare within children to have that whole, especially like the one that's kind of in the teen phase, have the whole I'm not a boy, I'm a man type thing. But with Hayato, he's just a prick to everyone. He has like one good support with Azora, and that's it. Every other time, he's just being an absolute prick, and he keeps doing the whole I'm not a boy, I'm a man, when it's like, yeah, he's trying so hard to prove he's a man, but he's doing the opposite. He's not charming, he's not endearing, he's not cute. He's not even a pass, like, you know what, it's like, whatever. He's legit, like, I don't like you. Fuck off, Hayato. I do not like you. You're an ass. You're an absolute ass. Oh, next. Sylas. Sylas is pretty solid. You know, he's loyal. Again, he's kind of like, he's a bit generic. He's loyal, though. You know, he's a loyal friend. He would be a loyal boyfriend. He has got quite the spine to him. He's willing to stick up for himself. He's, you know, typical. He's like style. He's typical, but effective. I'd say he's a bit more, like, he's got a bit more nuance to him in the terms of, like, being a bit more, I don't know, not, I wouldn't say powerful, but, like, again, he's really willing to stick up for himself, and he really won't budge on certain things, like, even with Camilla and stuff. So I'd put him in boyfriend-girlfriend because he has got a bit more of a spine than some of the other dudes, like Oscar and Starlin's situation. But yeah, I'd put him in there for style. Sorry, for Sylas. God, they're all fucking blending in. Hannah. Oh boy, Hannah. Hannah's interesting. Because on the outset, Hannah seems like a sweet, lovely, you know, lady. And at times she is. But Hannah's also a bit of a bitch. Like, her fucking core and support was the fucking worst. Where it's like, you got kidnapped when you were a child and you had no way of defending yourself. And you may Sakura because of that. I hate you. I'm just like, bitch, I will fucking slam you into the ground with your idiocy. That's the whole thing. Hannah's like, she has charm. And like her Felicia support's actually pretty cool. But most of the time, she's kind of got the Hayato problem where she acts like a little, like, she acts like a brat sometimes. She's not as bad as Hayato. And she, you know, she can be cute. I'm honestly, again, I've got to put her in pause because I'm sorry, the brightness is too much. She has definitely cuteness to her, don't get me wrong. She has a lot of cuteness to her and she can be sweet, but when she's a brat, not only is it annoying, it's stupid. Like, the reasoning she has behind acting like this way is just, oh my god, I want to choke slam this woman sometimes. Not as bad as Hayato, like, I want to put Hayato to the moon. But Hannah's just like, Hannah can be that person, you're having a fun time, if you're talking, you say something wrong, and it's just like, you may say one thing that may set her off, and it's just like, oh my fucking god, just go away. And at the same time, I wouldn't put her in pub and dump, because she kind of leans more into the cute tier than the sexy tier. Not saying she can't be, but yeah. So yeah, Next. Takumi. Okay, Takumi's interesting, because I know Takumi definitely has the fangirls, and also the fanboys. Takumi, that's the thing for Takumi. Takumi's a talented young man. He is good looking and all that stuff, and he's a royal. But Takumi's an ass. Takumi can be an ass. Like, again, he's got a real stick up there, and that makes it not the easiest person to talk to. And again, he's got a real, like, regard him. When you break down the barriers, he's nice, but getting down those barriers is... Okay, I'd have to put him in boyfriend-girlfriend, because as much as the barriers suck, he is a very talented, really, really exceptional young man, but fucking hell. Like, again, I don't know who shoved it up his ass, but it went... Like, again, you can't get... Again, you have to get to the A-sort port to pull it out. God damn. But I do admire... Obviously, I can understand why he's like this. He's not like this for no reason. There is a reason behind it, but man, oh man. Okay. We've done quite a few of the Hashidans. Let's go for Honorian. Okay, Nyx. Nyx is interesting. Because for the longest time, I would have put Nyx in just Protect, but I actually did marry Nyx one run. And when it comes to Nyx, while I'd have to put her in Queen, because the thing with Nyx is, yeah, there's the whole she's trapped in the child's body type thing. I mean, technically, if you want to be technical, she is in the MILF tier, technically. But, with Nyx, I think the whole thing is, not only is she obviously very mature, merit-wise, and granted, the reason she's not in Goddess is not the whole child thing. That hurts, kind of, but it's because, again, she's very touchy. Like, she's really, really touchy, and she's not the most exciting type person. You get like it, you can set her off. But with her, the romantic side of it, because of what she's been through, it's like the Marianne thing, where when she starts confessing and lets down the barriers, it hits so hard how just, like, beautiful she is. And, yeah, it really hits you there. So once you get through that, and granted, her barriers aren't as bad as some of the other characters. And, yeah, it's just like, when you really get to that, for her, it probably means the world that someone, like an adult, sees her as an equal, sees the beauty within her that she can't see. And for her, that probably means the absolute world. So there's that real sentimental value there. If I hadn't married her in my last Conquest run, I probably would have gone with Protect. But, you know, I mean, like I said, technically MILF. But yeah, after doing that, I was really, really taken back by Nyx. Next. Next. Rinka. You know what? Rinka, I'd put her in Pump and Dump. Because I think Rinka's a really cool character, but relationship-wise, again, she doesn't seem the type, just because she's generally pretty gruff, you know, she's not one for small talk. I can't imagine trying to flirt with her. She's, you know, and she's very, you know, isolated type of person. She doesn't like to interact with people as a whole. I'd be down for maybe a night out and getting it on. So again, with abs like that, damn, woman, damn. Plus, you know, because of the thingy artwork, apparently she has enormous tits too when she actually doesn't. Even though those ones look ugly. Again, they look like actual silicone. Like, they're not inside, they're on the outside. Ugh. God. But yeah, so Nyx Nyx I find pretty attractive and stuff like that, especially from like yeah, she got a cute face and she's ripped. But she would, again, I couldn't even do like the whole try to protect Rinka, it's just like fucking hell. But yeah, the whole boyfriend thing would work because it'd be really hard to get along with Rinka. I could see you as sparring partners, that's why I go with Pump and Dump, but that's about it. I like Rinka as a character a lot, but in terms of actual relationship stuff, nah. Oh boy, now we have one of the most interesting and probably controversial. Where do you put Perry? Because Perry's one of those characters where she's got a lot going for her, but she's got just as much going against. Because what does she have going for her? She's got an interesting if somewhat cute look. She's got the childish attitude, which can be sweet. She's an amazing cook, which is quite lovely. And body-wise, you actually look at her figure, she's pretty damn, you know, pretty sexy. What has she got going against her? She's fucking crazy. Like, depending on the support, she can either be has like, you know, issues with like her trauma and temper, and other times she's just literally batshit insane. And that's why it's so hard to go with, because obviously the easiest option would be Pump and Dump, but then again, they always say don't stick your dick in crazy. So like, they say that, but I have a thing for Estef, so whatever. I'd honestly go with, because again, Perry, it depends on how she's written. I'm going to put her in boyfriend, girlfriend, because it all depends on how she's written. Because in the Benny support, in the Felicia support, she's god-awful, like, absolute atrocious character. In the Kaze support, in the Odin support, in the last support, she's really interesting. You actually see her, like, not only her good side, but you see her trying to deal with her issues and get better, and I like that. On top of all the charm she has. She's such a mixed bag, so that's why I say boyfriend, girlfriend. It all depends on, you go out, you hang out, you're in that relationship. If she starts getting batshit crazy, no. If she works towards getting better and stuff like that, then definitely stick with her, because I see the good in Perry, but I also see, again, she is batshit crazy. But I think that's down to how poorly Fate's handled her in terms of consistency. She's the most inconsistent character in the game, and it fucking hurts. Yeah, but I have a soft spot. Okay, there's a lot to get through. Next. Selkie. Okay, Selkie I'd also put in boyfriend, girlfriend. She's kind of got the Soleil thing going on, where Selkie, in most cases I'd put in protect, but, well, I don't know. Selkie's one of those ones where she's like very hyperactive and childish, but in like a really, really fun and energetic way. Like, if you went out with Selkie, even though she'd be a handful, she'd be so much fun. She has that adorableness going for her while still looking like a mature woman. So she's got that. Granted, depending on how things go, she may never be down, like, proper for settling down just because she's nuts. Well, not nuts, just super hyperactive. But that's a factor of her which is just so much fun. There's never a dull moment with Selkie. She'd be exhausting. Like, oh god, she'd be exhausting. But there is never a dull moment, so I'd say boyfriend-girlfriend, because again, it can go either way, but regardless, you'd have a lot of fun. You would have a lot of fun with Selkie, you know. In a lot of, yeah. Okay, next. Odin. Okay, Odin's the same, because again, Odin's very, very, like, you know, theatrical, lambastic, all that jazz. But as you can see with him, he is a bit more sensitive now, like what he tried to do with Selena and so on. And so I think he'd make more of an effort with you, like, as opposed to Owain, who just kind of, like, he'd be who he is, but more so just, like, it's whether or not you like that side of him. Odin would make more of an effort, but you still got to deal with the theatrics and all that jazz, which are fun, but also can be exhausting. So, yeah, again, I appreciate Odin for being a bit more sensitive now and a bit more less self-centered, so there's that. Gunter. Gunter? Well, he's definitely DILF. Is he kind of, I'd put him in DILF. I like Gunter just fine. Again, for his age and stuff like that, he looks good. He's a knight, and there's got that going for him. I can't say too much else though. Like, ignoring the Revelation stuff, that's stupid. But yeah, Gunter's just a very fine gentleman. There's not enough for me to latch onto that makes me want him to put him in, like, King, Queen. Well, King Tier specifically, oh god. But, for a man of his age and his stature, he's done very well for himself. And he is a loyal, very loyal retainer, very mature, and stuff like that. Not one of those crouchy old fucks, but at the same time, he's not the most, like, really, 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 really aged like a fine wine type man. But yeah, he's definitely up there. But he's definitely in this tier. Okay, next. Okay, Sakura has to be protected because, like, I know some people marry Sakura, and I don't mind marrying Sakura to certain characters, but Sakura I put in protect not only just because she's young, but also just because of the type of person she is. Like, that's actually one of the things, because I think one of the biggest running gags throughout the whole of the Fates of Fun is, like, I talked about every character that wasn't Sakura. She was never featured on the worst, she was never featured on the best, she's just never ever present. The thing with Sakura is, I get the whole shy, like cherry blossom, because that's literally her name. Yeah, Sakura means cherry blossom. I bet people, like, every, like Cardcaptor fans are like, what? Well, actually, no, Cardcaptor fans knew that for ages. Everyone else just like, duh. But, yeah, so, again, she's got that whole sensitive, sweet, shy going for her. For me, she's too shy. Like, you get the feeling, like, you can, you could so much as, like, maybe look at Sakura a tiny bit funny and she'd, like, run away, or you could ask her the most innocent of things and she'll stutter and, like, panic. Like, that's why I like her a lot more in Warriors, where she's shy but still very active when need be. Here, Sakura's adorable, but it's too, and for me, it's too shy. Like, it's mostly her just cowering. And I get what's going on, but it's a bit too much. On the other hand, Elise, I'd also put Elise in Protect. Where is she gone? She fucking playing hide and seek again. Little lady, I swear. Seriously, where did she go? I can't see her. The hell? So I bet someone in the chat is like, she's right there, you moron. I don't know why. I can't see Elise. She's just escaping me. Where the hell did she... There she is. Again, fucking... hiding under Xander. You little mix. I put her in Rotates above. Elise, for me, is the type of cute I find the most adorable. The active cute type thing. Not so much the shy one, where they're playful, she's sweet, she's hyperactive, she's a very, very, she's still sensitive and stuff like that, but she's a lot more approachable and just happy-go-lucky. And I love that about Elise. Again, I've married Elise off to certain people as well, but again, I'm very selective with those two. But again, Elise is just bubbly, she's a cinnamon roll. She's happy, she's sweet, she's adorable, she's lovely. You gotta protect her because, birthright. But also, again, I love that. That's why I find Nino one of the cutest ones. Like, again, Nino is just mostly happy and sweet and very, same with the platelets, because they're genuinely chipper. I find chipper cute, but like for me, chipper cute does better than shy cute. Shy cute is still adorable, but chipper cute is my favorite. Alright, now... Niles. Oh, Niles. Oh boy. Niles I'd put in... Because, again, Niall's probably once pump and up. I put him in pump and up because Niall's an attractive man and he's sly. He's quite the smooth talker. At the same time, he's the type to, you know, really go behind your back and do certain stuff. And even then, I really doubt Niles would be faithful. And he also Niles is a shit stirrer. Like, you can have a fun time with Niles, and I imagine he'd be a really good, you know, in the bedroom type guy. But at the same time, if we want to get serious, I don't know, like, he can obviously in his supports, but I don't know if he'd be the type in general. And also, again, not only that, but just some of the way he is with his attitude, I wouldn't be surprised if Niles was unfaithful. So, yeah. Niles is cool, and you can have a good time with Niles, but a one-time thing. God, there's so many characters to get for. Ay. Then again, that's fate for you. Oh, okay. Oprah is interesting. Because Oprah, for the most part, you put in, like, Queen Tier. She's beautiful, she's fun, she's very talented, she's loyal, she's dedicated, and she's racist. That's the thing that hurts. Oprah is a fucking racist. Like, again, we understand why she has that thing towards Norians. Norians kill her parents. Also, like, oh god, could you imagine? You're in the, like, she can't get with Norians because she does overcome it. But you're getting it on with a Boro, you're looking down, you're proper into it, and she pulls that face while you're on top of it. You're just like, I don't know how to feel about this. Or worse, she's on top of you at a low angle, you're just like, I don't know how to feel about this. That would be terrifying. Or if we're just like, oh, it just looks at you so disgusted. So I would say boyfriend, girlfriend, leaning into king, queen. Because it all depends on, like, how she deals with the whole Norian thing. Like, I understand why she's like that, but it's still a big thing where not only does she look at you with disgust, but it's like the show with Sylas. Given the way she is, if you did something wrong or got her riled up, she'd probably go all the way and kill you, which, you know, is not good. So yeah, but aside from that one thing, Oprah is definitely a queen. You know, that's that thing holding her back. Oh boy. But yeah, it's just like, imagine. Flora, I'd put in queen as well, because Flora, while not like as energetic or as cutesy as Felicia, she is like a prim, proper woman, very dedicated, very loyal, very sweet. Once you get to a sensitive type, she's very, very, very nice. She's like a less extreme version of Felicia, but still Felicia in that, but still like Felicia in terms of sweetness, obviously more composed and all that jazz. But, you know, she's less of the extremes. But she still has lots going for her. She's very, very lovely. Now for Felicia. Okay, Felicia I put in Goddess because I remember one of the funniest fucking comments I ever got on a video. It was the 15 Fates characters. So that someone asked me, why would you put Felicia so high up? She's basically just Sumia 2.0. And I was like, yes, she is. And that's why, because Felicia, well, also, aside from the fact that she is sweet, she's sexy, she's adorable, she's very lovely, yeah, she's a klutz and stuff like that, but the thing for me that really hits me home with Felicia, and that's why, I've said this several times on social media, and my closest friends know it, Felicia's one of the characters I resonate with the most, because Felicia's whole deal is that she knows she's not the best at what she does, but she loves it so much, she doesn't give up and just wants to keep going at it. That's something I feel with as well. That's kind of why I'm still doing this. Like, I know that I'm not the best YouTuber out there. I know there are some people who do find me that, and I really appreciate it. But I know in terms of, you know, upload schedule, even though I try my hardest with video quality, some people are still better than me, you know, and just engagement and all that jazz. I'm not the best one out there. And there's still a lot of stuff that I've got my own shortcomings. But I love doing YouTube so much, interacting with you, making these videos and doing all this, that I want to keep doing this for as much as possible. Obviously, I want to do other things when I'm older. I've got many plans, but I really do enjoy doing this and just keep going at it. Like, especially in my early days when I was really, really, like, you know, when I was really, really, like, this is before I really learned about scripting, production values, and so on. I was just, again, it's just a thing where I really resonate with Felicia on that level where I may not be the best, I may not even be that good, but I love it so much and I just want to keep going. And outside of that, Felicia's just such a wonderful woman. And yeah. Plus, mates are sexy. Okay, next. We got 2 Xanders as well? The fuck? Granted, I want 2 Xanders. Selena. Okay, so last time with Severa, I did Pump and Dump. Selena I put in genuine boyfriend and girlfriend. Because here, she's matured, she's toned down, and she has her tsundere quirks, but now it's less about being angsty and confrontational, but more so being a bit more sensitive and shy. Like, she still has her anger issues, but she's more so sensitive about the situation and kind of a little bit dour, like when she doesn't want to admit defeat, but she's genuinely nice, a bit competitive. She is nicer, softer, and just sweeter and just more easygoing, and I like that about Selena. She has her tsundere qualities, but they're not the whole part of her character, and they're not such an extreme. They're still there, and that's why I won't put her any higher, but there's still a lot to like about her. And again, when she does blush this time, it is genuinely really, really adorable, whereas for Severa's one, it was kind of like, whatever. So yeah, props to Selena. Alright, next. He's get fucked. I'm sorry, I do not like Azuma. Like, Azuma is just, like, he's got some good supports, don't get me wrong. His Norian ones are surprisingly good. That's when you actually get philosophical and really into, like, the deeper stuff, and it's really damn good. But Azuma in general is just again, I can't get with the trolly prick attitude. Like, I know trolling is something people like to do. I know people who like to troll, and that's fine, but when your whole personality is trolling, and not only are you not endearing about it, or not that, like, I don't find him that funny, but mostly just a prick, and I don't even find him attractive, no, I'm sorry, Azimuth's just no. Like, he's not, like, I don't actively hate him the way I do a Hayato, but I'm just like, whatever. Again, I'm just like, no, just don't dig it. Next. Oh yeah, no, we can, yeah, Zolas is just, no. Again, he's a creep. He's a fucking creep. There's just no. Just no. Same with Iago. Iago's just no. Fucking creep. Absolute. And he looks, oh god, he looks like he hasn't bathed in years. He hasn't seen the sun. Oh god, no. Let's move on to something a bit better. Scarlett. Scarlett? I put in boyfriend, girlfriend. Scarlett is cool. You know, she's a cool woman. You know, a bit tomboyish, but, you know, I like her little quirks about, like, decorating her weapons. She's just kind of, she's tough but fun. You know, a bit of a sweetheart, not massively. I wish there was more I could talk about, but the game only gave her one fucking support. But yeah, I like Scarlett. She's just a cool gal. She's a genuinely cool gal, whichever, with, you know, with a quirky but fun attitude. So yeah, Scarlett's cool. Now Corin. Well, the thing with Corin is, you know, I've said my piece about Corin. In terms of relationship stuff, Corin wouldn't be that bad, actually. Like, the thing is, though, like, compared to the other avatars, while Corin may be the least interesting and stuff like that, the least developed, that, like, especially if you take the female route of the avatars, Corin's the biggest sweetheart. Like, Corin is genuinely, especially in Warrior, Corin is genuinely sweet and adorable, so they've got that going for them. They, again, like, I don't know how much, like, again, they're not the most interesting people in the world, but they would probably try with you, and again, the naivety can be a bit much, but, like, they'd be, you know, they're very sweet, people, and, well, they're attractive, you know, especially female Corin. Fucking hell, that woman. But yeah, there is a certain endearingness to them, and while they may not be, like, again, they might be a bit straightforward, their charm is still there, so I'd put them in boyfriend-girlfriend, because they're, you know, on that romantic side, there is charm to them, more so with the female one. Female Corin is so cute. Seriously. Right, now let's do the Awakening clones, and in this case, I've already said my piece, it's probably similar standing, but knock them down depending on, like, for example, let's start with Caldonia. Caldonia I'd put in boyfriend-girlfriend, because she has all the, you know, the traits of Cordelia and stuff like that. It's really, really, you know, wonderful traits to have. Obviously, it doesn't have the same thing factor, because it's the Awakening clone type thing. But, you know, Caldoria's still really, really, really wonderful woman and all that jazz. The other two, though, I just put them in pump and dump. Like, Asugi, middling, attractive-looking guy, you know, especially with the ninja outfit, good-looking stuff. And Rajat, well, you know, she's got that Faja booty. And, yeah. Like, again, I don't like them as characters, but, you know, when it comes to the physical attraction, it's definitely there. It is definitely there. Alright, now, well, let's do the Jacobs. Okay, so, Jacob, I imagine some people were like, oh, put him in God, put him in King, or something like that. Jacob's interesting, because if you've actually gone through Jacob's supports, Jacob's a prick. Not only that, but Jacob is really Corin-centric. Like, he's not the only character in this who's Corin-centric, but Jacob's got it worse than Camilla. Read his supports, he's got it worse than Camilla, because Camilla's supports is like 50-50 or 60-40 Corin. Jacob is like 80 to 90% Corin. It's ridiculous. Not only that, he's a prim proper man. He's, you know, he's eloquent, he can be charming, he's proper. But he's still a condescending asshole. and he's so Corin focused that it's like, even if you got with him, Corin will always be his number one. And because of that, I'm like, yeah, he's attractive, and so on, but again, pump it up. Because, like, if you go out with him, he can, I imagine he can be fun to go out with, but I also imagine him being that real stingy, well, not just stingy, but, like, really, really strict ass, as well as the fact that if you try to get thingamajig, Corin will always be the number one, and he prioritizes Corin always over you. Like, really, really prioritize. Oh, boy. Yeah, I'm sorry, when I looked into Jacob's character, Jacob is, I know he's attractive, I know, like, for those people who use Corin as an insult, Jacob's like, oh, he's that really loyal, to me type thing. But when you look at the broader perspective, Jacob's a prick. Jacob is actually a prick. Okay, and speaking of Corin focus, yeah, let's do the elephant in the room that is Camilla. Now, imagine for some people, because they know me, they think they put her in goddess. I imagine some people would be like, put her in most likely pump and dump, or pass, or get fudged. Camilla's all over the fucking place. I'm going to be fair and put her in queen, because the thing is, obviously, Camilla's biggest problem is the Corin-centricness. Not only to how much she talks about Corin, but for her, Corin will always be number one. And when you're in love with someone, you don't want to be that second place, otherwise it's not true love. But at the same time, Camilla does care for people, like we've seen. She really dotes on the people she cares about. She may like Corin that little bit more, but she doesn't hold back in doting on the others. She's sweet, she's sensitive, she is caring, she's extremely attractive and sexy. She, a bit kind of like, she can be dangerous, but she also shows how much she cares about you and so on. She's a strong woman. She's very flirtatious. She's got so much just womanly, seductive charms. It's wonderful. And that's why I put her in queen. She's also, she's talented in magic and action. She rides a wyvern. She's a really talented woman and stuff like that. The biggest problem being that, and again, with the cards I support and stuff like the tea party she has, she's just so charming. The biggest problem being that ultimately, for her, Corin will always be that priority. Granted, she won't be like Jacob, where she's just about Corin. She'll still really focus on you if need be. But if push came, let's say, if push came to shove, and she had to choose between you, even if you were married, you and Corin living or dying, she had to choose. She'd pick Corin over you, which is a shame. But so I can't put her in goddess in that regard, but I can still put her in queen for all the wonderful aspects she has to her character. Like, she's still, she's a woman you want to take care of you, or just be with you. Oh, boy. Okay, next. Setsuna? Setsuna's weird, because Setsuna's doesn't do much. Like, she's fine, she's just kind of out of it. Like, I wouldn't put her in pump and dump, because I don't find her that attractive. I'll put her in protect, because, well, she needs it. Like, she's an offensive character, and she can be kind of, funny in a weird, existential way, but generally speaking, Setsuna's just kind of there when it comes to being romantic and so on. Being there for her is always nice, and, she's never gonna be difficult, and stuff like that. At the same time, I imagine talking to her might not be the easiest thing either. So, protect, but that's about it. Okay, next. Mitama. Mitama I put in protect, primarily because Mitama's the type where, depending on her mood, she can either be a lot of fun, or she can be annoying as fuck if she ain't in the right mood, as well as being I imagine if you're trying to plan stuff with her, and go on dates and so on, then she'd just be last minute, yeah, no, I'm not feeling it. It's like, fuck's sake. So, Mitama's definitely cute in that regard, and she's got a lot of, uniqueness with the haiku and all that jazz. So she's, she's sweet and stuff, so on, but she's also, she's very on and off type person, so I put her in protect. Laszlo. Okay, Laszlo, again, same as Adora, boyfriend, girlfriend. He's a bit more, I don't know, he's still got that thing to him. He's not as sleazy this time, he's a bit more elegant, but not by much. So, very much like before, but I'd say he's a little bit more gentlemanly. So, he's moving up. Again, maybe there'll be one game where he's actually in the king tier for me. But for now, about the same. Hinoka. Hinoka. Where do I want to put Hinoka? Hinoka's interesting. Because Hinoka, obviously she doesn't have the same type of womanly feminine charms as the other, she's more tomboyish, but at the same time for her, it's the whole breakdown barriers fight thing. When she starts blushing and so on, it is adorable. She's a really, really strong woman, really active person. She's protective, sometimes a bit overprotective. She'd also be the type where I imagine if you did something wrong, she'd really dig into you for it. Not out of anger, but more so out of fear and stuff like that. Let's say you got into danger, she'd really dig into you. Hard to say. she's a great character and so on, and I still think she's got a lot going for her. I'm gonna put her in Queen because I reckon, like, she has the sternness, but we've seen she has a chill side. And she does all this stuff she's very selfless. She's a very selfless woman. She does all this stuff for the people she loves, not so much for herself. So I'd put her in Queen, you know. Hey, someone's gonna treat Hinoka well, and the game certainly fucking won't. Yukimura, he's alright. I would not put him in, I put him in pass. He's alright. He's an alright guy. He's a genuinely alright guy, but I don't find him attractive enough to put him in DILF or MILF or anything like that. But again, he's inoffensive, but I can't put him in Pump and Dump, and I can't put him in Protect either. I wouldn't say Get Fucked though, he's not that bad. Okay, Orochi, actual goddess. Like, I can't try, no, seriously. Orochi is actual goddess. She is such a wonderful flirt, she's hilarious. She's, you know, she not only has tarot readings to read your future, she also is an apothecary, so she's got all the medicine and stuff like that. Yeah, she's a tease and she's a bit of a swindler, but she's also really attractive. You know, her and Kagero, you know, they got them titties. I love the way she looks. She's got that really cool, like, you know, hairstyle and everything. And she's, like, again, she's just so much fun. She'd be, like, a wonderful partner to be with on so many levels. Like, financially, spiritually, emotionally, in terms of, like, fun factor, you know, in terms of sex appeal, just everything. Orochi is just, granted, she will definitely be the type to fuck with you. Like, she will fuck with you a lot of times. But if you can get down with that, she'd be great. She's just really, really wonderful. I really love Orochi. Tsubaki. Tsubaki I could see as part in the boyfriend tier. I'm not the biggest fan of Tsubaki, but having a man this perfectionist and this, like, well-groomed and stuff, there's a lot of appeal to that. I think he's a bit, again, because of that, I could see him being kind of a bit more focused on himself and trying to uphold his reputation a bit, but at the same time, I could see him being the type where, because of his being perfect, he would try and be perfect for you. Granted, he'd be a bit of a tryhard and that can kill a relationship, but at the same time, I can admire the effort, so he can go either way, Tsubaki. He can go either way. Shakur I put in the same one. I mean, dude's got a wonderful singing voice and so on. Not the most interesting or fun dude, but he's got a lot of, like, really dreamlike charms to him, if you will. And again, if you can get a man who can sing like he can sing, fuck yeah, fuck yeah. Next. Artha, I put him protect, he needs to be protected. Artha's charming and lovable. I don't find him attractive, and I wouldn't want to get serious with him. But, and well, because of the whole, well, just, I don't find him that interesting, I don't find him that appealing, and there's a whole bad luck factor. But the dude is a shit ton of fun, and we gotta keep him safe because he just has the worst fucking luck, poor guy. But he's so wholesome. Again, he's such a wholesome character, and I really appreciate that about him. Kagero. Okay, Queen or Goddess. Because, unlike, like, Kagero is not like Orochi in terms of, like, Kagero is a bit more straight-edged than Orochi. Naturally so, they're meant to bounce off each other. And she's not the most exciting woman, but considering she's a ninja and stuff like that, not only is she loyal, dedicated, and, you know, fierce, but I like, one of the biggest things about Kagero that I really like is that she's got many hobbies that she likes to do, which gives her that extra bit of, like, realism, because people just have hobbies outside of this stuff no matter how strict they are. And with Kagero, I like that with her hobbies, like, you know, she does the tea drinking, and she does the painting and stuff like that. Even though she sucks at it, she just, like, fuck it, I'm gonna enjoy it. I can see her being a partner where, while she may not be the most moving or exciting and so on, you just get on, like, a lot of levels. Like, she'd be a very consistent, very, all-around just great partner. She has the sex appeal. I mean, that's part of, like, one of the ninja clans do. If you've seen Demon Slayer recently, you know what I'm talking about. So she's got that. She is nice and caring. She's fierce. She's strong. But she's not boring. She has other hobbies. She can be quite exciting. Her best friend is Orochi. She got that going for her. But yeah, I find a lot of appeal to Kagero. I think Kagero really works because while she may not be, like, again, Fate's characters are often very extreme. She's a lot more on the level. But that's what I like about her. She's on the level, but not in a way of being bland like Sylas. Well, kind of Sylas, where it's the whole, I'm just, like, you know, the knightly character. Kagero's like, I'm a ninja, I'm dedicated to Ryoma, but fuck me, I'm going to do some painting, I'm going to make some tea, I'm going to hang out with my friend Orochi. She's, you know, she's kind of one of the more realistic characters in the game, and I appreciate that. Next. Tsubaki, Print and Protect. Again, he's a cute little guy. kind of a little bit of an airhead, but otherwise fine. I can't say too much. Percy's the same. Percy just put him protect again. He's trying to be a superhero, bless his soul, and he has all the best luck, so good for him. Oh, the Kanas I have to. Oh so cute. Oh my god, the Kanas are so adorable, especially female. I just, especially like her supports with her mum. Oh my god, that's one of the reasons, like, when you see the Kana support thing, I think the Camilla one's got a lot of views. I love the comments section where it's like, at least we know Kana was well fed because breastfeeding. But Kana's such a sweet little sweetheart. Just, flower picking, just so happy and sweet, bless her soul. Love Kana. Ooh, Ryoma. Ryoma's cool. Like, straight up, I really like Ryoma. I can't put him in God because Ryoma, unlike Xander, Ryoma's a little bit more on the strict side. Not to say he's, like, super stoic. He's a bit more on the strict side, and obviously, and because of that, I don't know, like with Xander, which we'll do next, and obviously he's in God tier, but Xander, there's more of a, like, when you get talking to Xander, while he is, like, he's a bit more intimidating than Ryoma is, and a bit more, not brutish, I'd say a little bit more overwhelming. Xander, at the same time, when you get to that chill side of Xander, I feel Xander opens up a lot more than Ryoma does, and he has that sensitiveness. I feel a bit more than Ryoma does. Ryoma's still great in his own guard. He's he's the leader of Hoshido. He's a samurai. He's dedicated. He is kind and caring, especially to like his retainers and stuff like that. He definitely has the kind side. Don't get me wrong. Like, again, it's like he's more of a middle ground compared to Xander, where Xander can be really, like, can be really intimidating. Ryoma never gets to that point, but Xander also, I feel, has that real, genuine, like, again, that real, like, heartfelt sensitiveness to him. Ryoma has it too, but not nearly as much. But Ryoma's still, Ryoma's still fantastic. But I'd have to put Xander as god. Xander's a fucking god. Xander is an actual god. Aside from the fact that he looks, oh god, he looks so beautiful. But like I said before, he's like, the epitome of charm, sophistication, intelligence, valor, everything. But he's still sensitive and kind enough to, like, be there for you. But he'll point you in the right direction. He'll be harsh when need be, but it will all be for your sake. And he's just so, oh god, Prince Xander, man. Fucking hell, that man. Saizo. Saizo I'd put in Pump and Dump because, well, that's the thing, it's funny because Saizo and Kagero were originally in a relationship, but they broke off because the thing is, Saizo is like, again, he's attractive, don't get me wrong, he's very attractive and he's got the whole ninja dedicated stuff, but he's like really on edge type dude and really, really strict and like very, very stoic. So for me, it's a bit too much. Like, he can still settle down and, like, you see with Orochi, like, the way she teases him and, like, Hana and so on. But for me, it's a bit much. Like, he's a very attractive guy, and having the he's not necessarily a prick, he's just a bit much to deal with because of how strict and how, just, very Judge Dredd-like. So, yeah, he's a bit much for me. Raina, not Renea. Renea is Echoes. Raina, because there's only so much you can go off, I gotta put her in Dilf Milf, because Raina's kind of like, she's cool, she's kind of like got sweet but with a sadistic edge, which I like, I think that's cool. She honestly, for a woman her age, she is damn attractive. She's not as crazy as Perry and stuff like that, but we only know so much about her character. She didn't have that many supports, so there's only so much I can go off. But for what it is, she's pretty, cool older woman. She's like that fun older woman, not like super fun where she just doesn't give a fuck. It's like, I feel like I'm 20 even though I'm 60 type thing. But she's quite rambunctious, and I like that. Next, Hinata, again, very shonen, bit straight edged. Again, he's an attractive guy, but he's way too, thick-headed, just train all that stuff. It's the Caspar situation, but even less depth, so, yeah, unfortunately. He's not a bad guy by any means. Yeah, let's do the Kitsunes. Let's do the beast people. Kaden definitely put in boyfriend. I'll put in boyfriend. Because Kaden, he's well-groomed, he's sweet, and he's fun. He's a little bit, I don't know, I'd say a little bit too, I wouldn't call him laid back. I don't know, Kaden for me, like, again, I obviously I understand the appeal of a fox dude. I understand the appeal of a fox guy. I've watched Fruits Basket. No, but I understand the appeal of Caden. And again, he's sweet, he's nice, he's fun. For me, he just doesn't have enough going for me that I really want to get with him. But I see the appeal, and like he's a sweet fox man, and he looks good too. Yeah. As for Keaton's weird because Keaton's really quirky. Like, you know, the way he finds bits of rubbish interesting, his tsundere attitude and so on. He's a bit more easy going than Caden, and he's also not like as childish, but at the same time he has those quirks. We can either go, again, I think the quirks of which would sell it. Where if you like the quirks, you can see lots of great about him. If you don't like the quirks, you back off. But Keaton's a cool guy. Valoria, similar situation, only her, she's not as easy to talk to. I put her in boyfriend, girlfriend, because again, if you can work through that, she's quite wholesome and sweet. But yeah. Alright, so I'd say get fucked to Hans, because Iago's just, Hans just like, go, get fucked. Same with, Garen is just, god, yeah, definitely get fucked, Garen. Like, I don't care if he's a fucking king. What do I put in Ankos? An Ankos is just, it's a dragon. Because an Ankos, because yeah, there's also the thing he does. I just put him in past, like, you know what, whatever. Yeah, I can't say much about an Ankos. Anna I put, again, because it's Fates, Anna, there's only so much you can go off, there's not too much. It's like the whole Three Houses Anna, just pump and dump. Very attractive woman, stuff like that. Yeah. We're already on Jacob. Leo, okay. Leo, I put in King. Like, Leo, for me, he doesn't have the same level as charm as Xander does. And he's still got, like, again, unlike Xander, I find him even less approachable. While he's not intimidating, he's a bit colder. But at the same time, Leo is a very pragmatic type dude. You know, he's not the type, even if you do talk to him, he won't just shun you straight away. He can be quite sweet and wholesome if need be. And I reckon he'd be the type of dude where you could just genuinely talk to him about stuff back and forth. Like, you know when you just have a back and forth with your best friend just casually? Leo's that type of guy where you can really go talk to him about stuff, just have a chill time, provided he's not busy with work and so on. I can see him like getting really sensitive to you. I can see him really looking into you and trying to, do the best for you. So while he doesn't have the same level as charm factor as like Xander, like his big brother Xander, which, for him it's like, fuck's sake, why am I always being compared to Xander? Leo is still, really, 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 he's a prince in every sense of the word. Next, there's Xander again. Midori, protect. Midori is so fucking adorable. She's got the medicinal medicine. She's always trying to help people. She's very mature for her age, but Midori is an absolute sweetheart. I love Midori. Bless her soul. She's leave it to Midori. Hup 2, 3, 4. Mozu, I'd also put her protect. Mozu, kind of like Sakura on the sensitive side, a bit more active, but at the same and so on. I wouldn't put him boyfriend girlfriend. I just obviously, she has massive confidence issues, but she's very, very sweet, bless her soul. Like, she's a really, really sweet lady, despite all the stuff that she's been through. Oh, Shigure. Shigure is fucking king, because Shigure... Not Shigure, sorry. Fuck, sorry, I got that wrong. Shigure is Azora's son. Shiro is such a bro. Shiro is the broest of bros. He's always looking out for people. He's really attractive. And, like, again, he can be a bit too laid back at times, but Shiro's such a fucking bro. I love it. He is a cool-ass motherfucker. He'll always look out for you. He's great with, like, underlings, but still adults. And, yeah, such a bro. If he was a bit more... if he wasn't so laid back and a bit not as carefree, maybe go to God tier. But, yeah, Shiro's an absolute bro. Ignatius is a good guy. Boyfriend, girlfriend. He's a sweet guy. And not as, again, more approachable than his dad, but not as sweet as his dad. So again, he's like a more leveled out Benny. Granted, I think because Benny's so sweet, that's what pushed him in King tier for me, but Ignatius is cool. Next, right, Baruka. Baruka's interesting, because Baruka is obviously very difficult to talk to. If you could break down the barrier, she's nice, but she is really difficult to talk to. At the same time, she's been through a lot, and that's the thing though. Once you get to the A support, it's fine, but getting there is harder than fucking Takumi. She's attractive still. I don't know, I can't put her in past because I like Baruka, I married her once. But getting to that point, it's hard, it's really hard. like, so hard I wouldn't, like, realistically, I wouldn't even bother with a boyfriend-girlfriend phase. But at the same time, do you want to have sex with Veruca? It's really hard for me to say, because past implies I don't like them, which isn't the case. I like Veruca, but when it comes to the supports, fuck me, this is hard. Shit. Alright, I'll put in Pump and Dump. Like, you know, Veruca's not uber attractive, but she has qualities to her. But again, Veruca's so hard to place. Character-wise, I do like Veruca quite a lot. But if you really look into the relationship stuff, Veruca would be so hard to deal with. But I can't put her in. Pass. Lilith is a fish. She's cute, but she's a fucking fish. But she's very cute. Lilith is Lilith is just, sweet little sister type thing. Girl next door, sweet little sister. Yeah. Nina put in boyfriend girlfriend. Nina's fun, and she's very imaginative and creative. At the same time, she'd be the type where because of how she could easily be just very indecisive, but also just very inconsistent, going from one thing to the other depending on where her mind goes. But there's that fun factor to her, and her imagination is, quite an attractive part. And she's very cute. She's very cute. Okay. Sumeragi, we don't know too much, but he seems to be a pretty damn good guy. I'm going to put him in Dilf because, again, the hair's a bit much, but you could tell he seemed like a really good dad and so on. And he's, I can see there's a lot of charm to him. Kind of still samurai, but kind of more sophisticated edge to him, but just by the way he looks. So, yeah. Makoto, 100% MILF. Again, she got them MILF vibes big. She's, I wouldn't put her in Queen just because we only know so much. She's very stereotypical, but hey man, she's got MILF written all over her. Same with Artha. Arate's definitely more on the, sly, evil side, but damn, she is attractive. Fuck me. Again, god damn, even in especially in Heroes, fucking hell. Alright, Seekbud put in boyfriend. Unlike Shiro, he's not so much of a bro, he's also trying to live up to being like his dad, so he still feels like a child in that regard, but I appreciate all that he does, and that he does try hard. He will try hard for you, which can backfire, but at the same time, I appreciate his, he's very much depending on how it goes, like I said, if he doesn't come into his own, he'd just go into protect. But if he did become the man like his dad, he'd come into king. So he's very much on the edge, but he's a sweet boy. Dwyer, wherever it is, I put him past. Yeah, again, he makes good coffee, and that's about it. Look, go back to Death Note, okay? Go back to Death Note. Isama, I don't have fucking pickles again. Pass again. It's the whole pickles situation. I hope that was a translation issue because I'll get into this Effie, because I know that it's the Fates translation has screwed up some of the characters. I hope that was the case with Hisama, and maybe there was a bit more interesting and intrigue to him, but fucking pickles, man! Yikes. That, and he's also a bit of a prick. So Effie. So in the American version, Effie's whole shtick is that she's always hungry and loves to eat. In the Japanese version, for what it's meant to be, she's meant to, she's really strong, she's meant to be quite dainty and cute. So in that regard, if we go off that, I put her in Queen because she's obviously very dedicated and loyal to Elise, but she has this really, she looks very attractive and stuff like that, but she's also built, and I like the idea of she's a dainty, lovely young woman, but she just happens to be ripped. So yeah, I'd put her in Queen tier for that. Again, her dedication is wonderful. She just seems like Kagero, she seems like a chill person, just likes to just go about her business and so on. And yeah, granted, I'm only speculating because this is what I heard. She in the Japanese version, that was her deal. In the English version, she's more food obsessed. But yeah, so I'd put that for Effie. So next, Kaze's god. Oh my god, Kaze is holy shit. He is so sweet. He is so gentlemanly. He is so caring. He is so sensitive. He is so well kept. He is beautiful, man. He's so genuine. He's caring. He's ultimate husband material. Yeah, he's not maybe as refined as Xander and stuff like that. He may not have the valor of him, but he's so sweet and oh god, I love Kaze. Kaze is the type of guy I want to cuddle up with. Straight up, Kaze is such a sweet soul. And again, that's why I love to get Kaze pairings with so many characters. I love Kaze and Kagero. I also love Kaze and Camilla. And Kaze gets with and Kaze and Perry I love too. Kaze is just oh man, I love him. Sophia. Sophia I put in boyfriend, girlfriend. She's fun, bit of a klutz, but fun otherwise, and a genuine soul. Again, bit try-hardy, but I do like her. She's quirky but fun. I do like, but obviously there's her horse issues and so on. Ophelia Dusk. Ophelia definitely boyfriend, girlfriend as well. Ophelia's fucking out of it, but in a, like, again, depending on how you feel. She can be one of those ones where she's out of it, but really fun. Maybe you could talk about more out there stuff, like have more meaningful conversations, if you will. And that would make her a lot more interesting. At the same time, I can see her being like, she's so in her own world. It's like, how the fuck do I even talk to this woman? But no, she's also, she has the sex appeal. She's charming. She's cute. But I think the whole thing with Ophelia is that she's so out there, but she wins points for uniqueness, definitely. So I can see you being boyfriend and girlfriend, and depending on how things go, you either really dig into the uniqueness and really get along with her on like a wavelength level, or you're just like, look, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Bye. Yeah. And alright, so there's two more. First is Charlotte. Charlotte, I like Charlotte a lot. Obviously, her biggest problem, alright, for me, I like Charlotte a lot, but her biggest thing for me is the whole facade deal. I put her in boyfriend, girlfriend, because, like, Charlotte puts on a facade to thing man. Granted, when she drops the facade, she's great, but even, like, around other people, like, she says Xander, like, I won't stop the facade and stuff like that. And for me, like, putting on a facade, on a personal level, it's, especially if you're with someone, putting on a facade, it really gets to me. Like, I understand for entertainment purposes, like, people when they're trying to do show business, when they're, like, maybe in a meeting, or maybe when they're doing work, they do it, but when you just, like, want to be with each other, the whole facade thing really gets to me. So, with Charlotte doing that, while, like, well, for one thing, I prefer the way she is normally, where she's kind of like a bare-knuckle brawler, just a bit more mellow, fun, but still mellow and a bit rambunctious, kind of like Yang from Ruby. But the facade thing, while it is cute and stuff like that, and she's very attractive, I don't know, it really gets to me. Like, that's the thing, if she did completely drop it, I could see it easily going to Queen Tier. But if not, that would really, really get on my nerves, because that type of thing gets under my skin. But, yeah, but Charlotte can go either way. But she's definitely, she's a Playboy bunny, very attractive. And finally, Azora. Azora's a goddess. Absolute goddess. Like, again, Azora's not, like, super easy to talk to. But she is, like, she's very well versed in so many things you can talk about a lot. She's really great for emotional support, both ways. She has her cute, sweet moments. She has the cutest giggle in it. Like, again, if you listen to her giggle, she's so adorable. She has got the sex appeal. She can fucking sing and dance like nobody's business. And yeah, she's got the mystic approach, and if you two really started to really resonate, she would be like a really, 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 really like an angel, if you will. Again, she's my favorite character in the game. So with Azora, while she has that slight barrier, it's only slight, and the rest is just so wonderful and so just so angelic, if you will. And Azora is amazing. So yeah. So that wraps up the Fates one, even though there's two more left. It's again, most of the Fates ones, it's boyfriend, girlfriend. There's quite a number of pump and dumps, decent deal for MILF, quite a few gods and queens, there's quite a few really good characters, but most of it's boyfriend, girlfriend, so they're kind of in the middle ground, if you will. A number of protects, 2 just knows, and a couple of get fucks. Yeah, so overall, the Fates cast, quite charming, pretty damn charming, they are a lot of fun, but most of the thingamajigs, they're kind of in that middle ground where it depends on which direction they go, because maybe they have 1 or 2 quirks holding them back. So yeah, so that's how it goes for Fates. So next up we shall do personal skills. Okay, so now we are moving on to personal skills. So these are the skills unique to each character. There's actually a new thing introduced for Fire Emblem Fates specifically, and it's a concept I really like, because it makes it so that each character is unique regardless if you all put them as the same class. They have that one skill that, while most of the skills are minor, they don't have massive stat buffs for the most part. They are a cool little concept, and I do think they add, like, some of them can be somewhat game-changing. Others is just small little perks to make them a bit better. Now, I'm judging these based on which ones I like the most. I don't know the Fire Emblem thing meta, I don't do the lunatic stuff, I don't do LCCs or anything like that. I'm sure there are some out there which are technically, like, this tier, but I'm just basing on how much I like them and what I think of them. So, yeah, I'm going to defer to the wiki to look at the thing. So the first one is Corrin's 1 supportive. If Corrin is leading level C or higher, you get plus 10 hit, plus 2 damage, and minus 2 if it's supporting a lead unit. So Corrin is supporting someone and they're, like, attacking either pair up or next to them. That's not bad. Plus 10 hits, good. Plus 2 damage, minus 2. That's overall good. granted, I find most of the time Corin is the one on point, so you don't see this happening too often, but at the same time, you know, with maybe in the early game of like some of the harder modes, with Paladin Jacob or like Camilla and stuff like that, you probably want Corin supporting. So good in that regard. And, you know, -2 damage, -2 damage, +2 damage and 10 hit, you know, you get 3 stat buffs, so I'll put it in B tier. I think it's fine. I don't think it's amazing, but I think it's fine. Alright, Healing Descant. That's Azora's one. So as in 2 space, we can cover 10% of the max HP at the start of the turn. That one's actually, that's alright too, because while, sorry, looking at the symbol, while 10% HP isn't much, at the same time, the range is relatively big, and, you know, every little helps at the end of the day, and the fact that it's 2 tiles, not 1, is quite useful. So Azora can be thrust into a crowd, and if you're playing on the defensive map, then you can heal quite a bit. So while the percent is tiny, if it was like 20%, but then again, I imagine if it's any higher, it might be busted. I put it the same as Corin. While the value isn't that great, the fact that you can heal so many units at once is quite useful. So props there, props there. Okay, Devoted Partner, that's Felicia 1. If Felicia is supporting Corin, they get +2 damage and receive -2 during combat. That's the thing, if Felicia is supporting Corin. So, yeah, again, it's one of the things where it only really works for Felicia. In which case, +2 and -2. And again, it's Corin only. It's alright, but it's too... Again, granted, in the early game, obviously, Felicia and Corin are going to be pairing up a lot, and Felicia usually is paired up with Corin, same with Jacob. I don't know. I can imagine on the higher levels, that +2 makes all the difference in the world. For me, it's like, for one thing, it only works if you're, again, paired up with a specific character. And, yeah, I'd put it in D. Jacob's one, similar. But I think the +15 avoid and the -3 damage, not only do you have better avoid, you take less damage. I put that a bit higher because it's more purposely defensive. Felicia's meant to be both offense and defense, but this one is leaning completely into defense, which I'm cool with because it just makes you more tanky. And, you know, Miraculous Save. If Kaze is a support unit, the lead unit has luck chance of surviving a fatal attack with 1 HP. That's way too situational. I remember maybe once or twice it's come in handy, but that is like, wow. Granted, the ability to save someone from a fatal strike is amazing, but it is as, like, again, I'll put it in D just because the ability, it's cool, but the chance of activating is so low, it's like, come on. That is really, really situational. Right. Sylas, Vow of Friendship. If Corin is under half HP, God, it's Corin everything. Sylas deals +3 damage and receives -3 in combat. Not bad. Again, it's the Corin problem. It's basically Felicia, but better. So in that case, I'll put that above because the +3 and the -3, especially I'd imagine on the harder difficulties, would be pretty useful. And it's basically Felicia's ability, but better. But at the same time, Corin has to be lower than half HP. But especially in something like Conquest, Corin more than likely will be, because Corin is one of the better tanks early on with like the Dragonstone, but even then with all the poison strikes adding up. So yeah. Forager. If Mozu begins her turn on a field, forest, mountain, or wasteland, it recovers 20% of her max HP. So yeah. The 20% isn't bad, and you've got 3 different types of terrain, but it's chapter dependent. So I put that in D, because the 20%'s nice, but it is chapter dependent, because there will be chapters where it's next to useless. Okay. Highwayman, this is Shura's one. When Shura initiates combat, if the enemy cannot counterattack, their strength and speed is reduced by 3, recovers once per turn. That's good for support ability. You know, to have -3 strength and speed, that can make it so that the next follow-up is great. So, while their values aren't huge, at the same time... Sorry, I'm trying to think. Which one is Highwayman? Oh, it's the one with the blood blotches. Got it. Yeah, that one is pretty cool. I put that in B because, again, you know, debuffing them like that, you know, just the bow, especially because, like, again, if Shura doesn't kill them in one hit, the next follow-up, whoever it is, will. Alright, Izana, Peacebringer. Allies and enemies within 2 spaces deal -2 damage. So everyone deals -2. I get the idea, makes sense. That's not ideal because, yeah, I might take less damage. Alright, the only time I can see it being useful is on a defensive phase where you put Izana in there and the enemy can deal less damage to you, but you also retaliate with less damage. And then you move Izana away, so you get the damage boost back. But overall, I think I get the idea, but nah. I'm sure someone can make use of it, but nah, I do not like Priestbringer. Okay, now we've got the Norian skills. Artha's Misfortune. Enemies within 2 spaces of Artha suffer -15 critical evade, while Raina gets -5. Okay, the -15 critical evade is pretty cool if you're using like a killer weapon. Granted, you've got it too, but it's not as bad. I put that in D. The critical evade is cool, but again, it's only really useful if you have a killer weapon, because also some weapons just can't crit, so if you have a weapon that can't crit, it's fucking useless. Yeah. Okay, after that, Benny, Fierce Man. Enemies within 2 spaces of Benny, -10 avoid. That's useful. -10 avoid isn't much, but Benny will be on point. Benny will be taking the hits, so people will be surrounding him, but they'll get the less avoid. So, ooh, yeah, A or B. -10 isn't much, but it's something. So, and the fact that it's very likely to happen with Benny, so I'll give him props for that. Baruka, +4 damage if the enemy can't counterattack. So that kind of works into Baruka's ability to flank, or let's say she used a ranged weapon against a thingamajig, so that's pretty cool. Granted, most characters that can't do that, like for Baruka, unless you're using a ranged weapon, it's going to be archers, and that's useful to get rid of them, and hopefully she will. But Baruka's more of a defensive unit, I find, less of a flanker, because of like her build. So it varies. It's cool. It's definitely cool. I put this in B tier as well, because the +4 is cool. But realistically, how often is that going to happen? I mean, I've seen it happen a few times, but not that often. Okay, Rose's Thorns. So adjacent allies get +3 damage and receive -1. That's, yeah, Rose's Thorns is really damn good, because if you're next to someone with Camilla, if Camilla's on point, you've got people supporting her. If they get flanked and attacked, they've got the -1 damage and they deal more. So Camilla's really good at initiating, because if you initiate with Camilla and then have her follow up behind you, like as a supportive attack, you also get the +3. So, which one is that? Yeah, Rose of Thorns. I put that in A. I wouldn't put it in S, because you have to be adjacent to them. And given Camilla's malignant thing, she's more than likely going to be doing her own thing. But still, like, you know, the passive is great. Unmasked. Oh, Charlotte's one. She gets +4 damage and 20% critical boost if she battles a female ally. Situational, so I have to put that in C because it's situational. But the +4 damage, not only is that good, the +20 crit means she's going to crit because it's Charlotte. While it's female-only allies, and again, against certain enemies, like again, if you're doing the fucking faceless, they're all male or genderless, one of the two, I don't know. Again, I'm not going to assume, but yeah, it's definitely situational. It's situational, but effective when the situation comes in. Alright, at least it's one. It's the same as Camilla's. Opposite. It's the opposite of Camilla's. So for Elise, that makes sense considering she will be close to allies helping them. So she's more useful on like the defensive turns and stuff like that. But at the same time, she has, you know, adjacent allies. So she's more useful as like a, you know, a unit to like, it makes sense for a healing thing. I put it in the same tier. While Camilla's one's a bit better in terms of offense, Elise is more than likely to activate it because she will be close to allies and all that jazz. So, yeah. Okay, Icy Blood, this is Flora. If Flora takes damage from non-adjacent enemy, so... Oh, I see, so she has like range damage or something like that. Yeah, and her HP isn't full, the enemy takes half the damage inflicted and suffers -3 to skill and speed. Recovers once per turn. Okay, it's like a weird-ass counterattack. That's so weird. Because again, it's not adjacent, so it has to be... like ranged attack, I think, because adjacent means right next to her. So it's got to be a ranged attack, or like a siege attack. But they take half the damage. Interesting. Okay, I put that in C. It definitely sounds like a really situational circumstance, but the circumstances look cool. Alright, Forceful Partner. If Gunter is supporting Corin, they get +15 to hit and +3 damage. So that one is like a combination. It's like Jacob's one, but instead of negating damage, they get +3. I know that one, in terms of rare, people pair up Gunter a lot because it's a really good pair up for Corin. Because again, higher avoid makes him like a better dodge tank and just better attacker. So yeah, I get that. Okay, Keaton's one, Collector. After finishing an action, Keaton has a chance to pick up 3 ore foodstuffs until the 7th turn. That's weird. Okay, I can see the value of it. If it was like picking up gold or certain items, it'd probably be a bit better. but this is like the small collectibles for the My Castle thing, so I'm going to put that in D. It's not awful, but it's definitely like, it's a bit really gimmicky. Next. Laszlo, fancy footwork. When using Rally, allies within 2 spaces will be +1 strength and speed. Saxon or Rally. Okay, it's his own Rally skill. +1 doesn't seem like much, but it can make a difference. Plus, again, especially with like speed, because maybe with +1 speed, that's like that 1 point you need. And it's a free Rally skill you have, so I'm going to put that in B, because again, having a free, while the stat boost isn't that significant, the free Rally I appreciate, and it's for strength and speed, and those are 2 stats you want every value in, so props to Laszlo. Pragmatic. If the enemy's HP isn't full, +3 damage dealt and -1 damage received. So it's essentially Camilla's thing for Leo if the enemy's HP isn't full. Okay, that's cool, but usually if the enemy's HP isn't full, Leo's going to kill you anyway, and there's a less chance of you, so you get the extra damage, but there's, okay. I put that in B. It's good for Leo, but at the same time, yes, it is good for Leo, especially, but it's unlikely for the enemy not to be, because Leo can one-shot a lot of people. And if not, use the freaking tonics to just work around the speed issues. So, okay, I'll put it in B because, let's say they are a little weak or Leo can't finish, the follow-up will get them. The follow-up will definitely get them. But yeah. Alright, so Niles, Kidnap. Yeah, Niles can capture a normal enemy and certain bosses. Okay, I know that especially for Lunatic, this skill is God tier because like the boss you get in Chapter 9, the stats they have is just incredible. I know it's an S tier skill. That is an S tier skill. You can capture people. Yeah. Okay, Nyx countercuts. If Nyx takes damage from magical attack, the attacker receives half the damage dealt. For Nyx it works because, again, Nyx is already magic built. While she's more so magic offense, she doesn't have the best res. Her res isn't too bad, and also she doesn't have the best HP though. So, most of the time, they'll take a bit of chip damage, but at least Nyx can reliably activate it, because it's not like Counter, where if she gets hit, she's got the chance to be either one shot, or, again, she gets hit with one counter. She could probably activate a decent number of counter curses in her turn. So I'd put that in C, because while Nyx probably won't take much damage to begin with and won't retaliate with much, sorry, I've got to look at the symbol, at the same time, where is it? I can't, oh, there it is. At the same time, you know, she can take a number of magic hits. Okay, Odin, Aching Blood. If Odin equips a forged weapon with a name that's 12 characters long, he gets a critical boost. Okay, that's easy enough to do. And plus 10 crit, again, you can really work around that. It's situational, because if you don't forge, then it's useless. But most people will forge. So, and if you forge in, like, the critical stats and so on, then, yeah. So, I'd put that in B, because while you gotta work around it, the plus 10 crit is cool. Okay. Bloodthirst. Oh, this skill. If parry initiates combat and defeats the enemy, +4 to strength, magic, speed, and skill until the next turn. That is an amazing skill. Granted, again, not only is it good offensively, but defensively, again, I've done it in the chapter 16 where parry kills a unit, and because of the extra speed and skill and strength, when the enemies come and attack her on her phase, she just like massacres them. Absolutely massacres them. And if you pair up with Gale Force and Azora, parry, because again, it stacks. The thing is that Bloodlust stacks, so if you do it once, you get the +4, you do it twice, you get +8. So while it's not the easiest thing, like again, you have to work around it, but if you get it working, holy shit, parry becomes ridiculous. Like, it really helps. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. Yeah. Fierce Rival, Selena. When Selena is the support unit, if the lead unit triggers a critical hit, she will also perform a critical hit if her attack connects. Interesting. Okay, so if you do the whole thingamajig, so if you're on attack phase and you crit, she'll crit too. That pretty much guarantees the enemy's death if they survive the critical. Situational, it's gimmicky. It's really, really gimmicky. Really situational. Can be cool. I think unless going in, you know that you've got a character who's going to crit like crazy, like Charlotte, it's kind of just silly. But I'll put that in C just because I think it's the fact that, oh, it's also if she can hit. So no, yeah, I'll put that in D. So if it was guaranteed crit regardless, then I would put it in C, but it's not. It has to land the hit. Chivalry. +2 damage dealt and -2 damage taken when against enemies with full HP. This makes Xander amazing as a tank, because he'll be attacked from all sides, and if he's getting attacked by enemies first off, he gets extra damage to potentially either one-shot them, or he takes less damage so he can just keep on tanking. So that's why he's so good at the ninja map. I'm tempted by an S. That's really good chivalry. Fuck. Yeah, it works perfect for Xander, because Xander will be taking the hits. Like, if it was a glass cannon unit, it would be shit. Or not very useful. But no, for Xander, that's good. That's good. Oh yeah, okay, Divine Revolution. If Azimus has no weapons equipped in his attacks, the enemy will receive half their damage dealt. See, when Azimus is a boss, this makes him really dangerous. But as a unit, again, Azimus is usually going to be healing, so he won't usually be attacked. And then when he gets to the point where you can promote him, he's going to be fighting because he's actually one of the stronger units physically. So it's a nice idea, and as an enemy, it makes him dangerous as shit. But it really doesn't really come into play. Granted, it is a good safety net. It is a good safety net for enemies. But it really doesn't come into play that often, I find. And maybe on the harder difficulties, you can bait enemies into attacking him because he is quite bulky. Okay, Fearsome Blow. If Hana initiates combat and defeats an enemy, all adjacent enemies lose 20% of their max HP. That's kind of cool. Let's say you're doing a really boxed-in map. Hana kills an enemy, or all adjacent enemies. So yeah, again, imagine Hana's surrounded, or like someone's surrounded, and then you get Hana in the middle. That's not bad, actually. Granted, it has to be adjacent, so there's only like a maximum of 4 enemies, or maybe a bit more you can kill. You can hurt, but 20% of the max HP is pretty cool. I would put that in the B tier. I think Fearsome Blow is alright. Pride. If Hayato's level is lower than the enemy's promoted counts, he deals +4 damage. That's good. That's actually pretty good. It helps him really keep up. So again, it's like if he's lacking, laying behind, that's a nice way for him to keep up with the enemy. Because if he's lacking in levels, he gets an attack boost. If he doesn't, he doesn't get the attack boost. But either way, there's nothing to lose, everything to gain with his skill. Because you're a high level, then you've got the advantage of being a high level. If you're not a high level, you get an attack boost. That's pretty good, actually. It's just for him. Granted, I don't use Hayato that much. But that's actually pretty good, especially because he starts low level, so yeah, I'll put it in A. Props, Hayato. Props. That's actually pretty good. That's actually a pretty good skill. Triple Threat. If Sword, Lance, or attack drops Hinata's HP to 50% or lower, the enemy will receive half the damage dealt. Again, it's like a counter attack, but it's only for those type of weapons. Very, very situational. I put that in D because while Hinata's actually quite bulky and a decent tank, he has to be hit by those weapons specifically. Okay, Rallying Cry. Allies within 2 tower radius does 2 damage. It's like Lily Poise, but no, that's a bigger radius actually. So it's again similar to Camilla's. Bigger radius, not as potent, but the bigger radius helps. And +2, it's not bad. Again, 2 tower radius as well, especially because she can fly. I'll put that in A. That's not bad actually. Again, if it was 1 tower radius, I'd put it in B or C. Okay. Reciprocatory, that's Kaden. Kaden is healed with a Staff Rod. The user will be healed by half the amount. Okay. Again, Kaden can go out there and take a few hits. It's like a weird live to serve. It only works for him, and only works if he gets hit. But Kaden probably will get hit a few times. Not bad. Not bad, actually. And again, it helps the healers. Granted, most of the time the healers won't need it. But not bad. I'll put it in C. Okay, Kagera's one. This one I used to really like. If Kagera is attacked with a shuriken, the attacker receives half the damage dealt and receives the stat drops inflicted. Okay, that sounds amazing. If only it was on a Norian unit. If you put that shit on a Norian unit, holy crap. Oh, wait, I think I missed someone. Yeah, I did miss someone. That's it. Poiscience. That's Effie. +3 damage to the enemy's strength is 5 points or higher than hers. Effie does +3 damage if her enemy's strength is 5 points or higher. Oh, no. +3 damage to the enemy if her strength is 5 points or higher. See, Effie's strength more than likely will be, and +3 damage on Effie will probably make her... I've noticed this. Again, if you're playing Conquest, Effie is the best fucking person to take on a ninja, because Effie's skill will activate, because most of the time the ninjas will not have enough strength to close that gap. And if she gets +3 and just throws a javelin at them, I've one-shot so many ninjas with Effie and a javelin. It's like, certain enemies it won't work with. That's why I'll put it in A, but like, oh my god, again, against some of the frailer, like, archers and yeah, like, what do you call it? Effie just fucking rips into pieces. Like, the damage is ridiculous. So I completely missed that one. Okay, Shuriken Mastery. So Gero. It's a cool skill to receive half the damage. Again, if you had this on a tank unit, put this on Benny or something, fucking hell, would be amazing. One problem. It's on Kagero, who is not only frail, she can't take that many Shuriken hits, but unless you're playing Rev, she's not going to be taking Shuriken hits. The idea is sound, but it's on the wrong unit. So I've got to put that in just C tier, because it can work in Rev. It can work in Rev, but in Birthright, where you're most likely going to use her, it's kind of redundant. Not completely, there's still that... Well, like, Kotaro, you beat Kotaro, and then you get Kagero. Again, it's not completely redundant, but it's mostly redundant. But the skills itself is cool, because you don't even get the stat debuffs. Again, if you could give that to fucking... What do you call it? To, like, give that to a Norian unit who's just tanking so many ninjas, oh, that would be beautiful. That would actually be so beautiful. But for someone like Kagero, who's naturally frail, no. Okay, Enmity. If Boro enters combat with a Norian, you get +3 damage. Oh, yeah, so +3 damage against Norian units. Oboro, put that in B or A. Similar situation to Kagero, but it's going to happen more often just because it's, just because. And again, +3 damage is pretty awesome. I'll put that in A because while for Rev it might not be as useful, for Birthright, you're going to be pretty much fighting Norian units, and having +3 damage on a unit that's already quite high damage, that's really useful. Okay. Orochi has capture, same situation. There you go. Thank you, Orochi. Alright, so Rinka, Fiery Blow. If Rinka's HP is less than 4, she'll put possible damage. That one I really like. The only thing with Rinka is, Rinka's got low HP. Even though she's bulky, I find that she's got low HP, so sometimes the fresh is really dangerous to do that. It's like Bernie's one, though, where if they're not at full HP, the +4 damage really does help. If you can... if your Rinka just so happens to either get a blessing in HP or really bulky, then go nuts. If not, though, I will be careful with it, because it's easy for Rinka to get overwhelmed, but she does need the extra strength. Morbid Celebration. If Raina initiates combat and defeats an enemy, she becomes 20% of her max HP. That's not bad, actually. Risk reward. Again, it only really works when you have Finger 2, but it is a nice risk reward situation. And, you know, it allows you to focus on taking those risks. You know, if you're like, I'm not full, but I can get my HP back. So I put that in B tier. Not bad. Not bad. Bushido, that's Ryoma's one. When Ryoma is the lead unit, if his level is greater than or equal to his supporter, which will be, +10 to critical, +2 damage, and +3 damage received. So basically, if you pair up someone with Ryoma just gets buffed. So I'd put that in A. Because it's going to happen. He's going to get buffed. Actually, I'll put that in S because, again, like you know, Xander's one, it's like, it's going to happen because he's going to, like, people will initiate with him anyway. But with Ryoma's one, again, you support him, he's going to be a high level, you've won. It's just ridiculous. So, yeah, Bushido's ridiculous. Okay, Pyrokinesis. Yeah, Pyrotechnic. Yeah, Pyrotechnesis. Yeah, Pyrotechnics, sorry. So I'm thinking Pyrokinesis because that's conjuring and fire. If Saizo initiates battle at 50% or lower HP, he and enemies within bases will lose 20% of their max HP afterwards. He and the enemies within 2 spaces. So that's a really good, like, desperation attack where if he's at low HP and you attack everyone, you can do a big burst attack. So that's cool, but you got to be low. Granted, he's a ninja, so it's not that difficult. I imagine, alright, if I remember, some people really like this skill. For me, I put it in B. Again, if I remember correctly, there's some people who think it's like one of the meta skills. I'm not too familiar with it, but it definitely feels like if you know what you're doing and have the perfect opportunity, you can really fuck with the enemy. Risky, but you can fuck with them. Quiet Strength. Allies within 2 spaces will need -2 damage from Sakura. Again, -2 space, especially because she has her Sakura rod, and the other rods which are 1 to 2 regardless. So I put that in, and -2 damage. Again, I do the same, put it in A tier. You know, having -2 damage and Sakura will more than likely be within that range. Quiet Strength. So, props. Okay. In extremis. Scarlett. If Scarlett enters battle, 30% critical hit to her, she's 25% or less. That's extremely risky to run. I'll put that in C because the fucking 30 crit's ridiculous. Give her like a really crit heavy club and then there you go. But 25%, granted she's quite bulky so she'll have a decent threshold, but yeah. optimistic. Setsuna. If Setsuna is healed with a Starfall Rod, she recovers... Oh, okay, she gets increased healing. Granted, Setsuna's usually going to be sniping people off, so she's less likely to be attacked. Again, you give that to a tank unit, that'd be amazing! It's cool, but it's not likely to happen to Setsuna. So, C. The skill itself is good. Wrong person. Perfectionist. If Tsubaki takes HP is full, he gains 15 to hit and avoid. That's cool, because, if you go in, you've got the extra avoid, and maybe you're up against sword units, you can just tank them for days and just keep dodging. So... he has to be at full HP. So yeah, it's a good way to initiate, if you will. Again, it's if you lose it, fair enough. But Tsubaki already being a peg knight, even though he's got low growth rate, he probably has pretty decent avoid anyway. So yeah, I'd say put this in the B tier. Where is it? There we go. Okay, competitive. This is Takumi. When Takumi is the lead unit, if his level is lower than or equal to his supporter, he gets additional damage, so he gets buff if the level is lower. With Takumi, that's cool, but usually I find that doesn't happen unless you're using a pre-promote or like maybe one of the units had early on, because Takumi usually joins quite early, and it's unlikely for him to be lower unless you pick one of the better units, and even then, one of the better units will unlikely be the supporter. So I'd put that in B just because it's cool, but it's not likely because Takumi's more than likely going to be the high level unit. Not guarantee, but more than likely. Yeah. Okay, and then Yukimura's one. +5 hit to all allies on the battlefield. Oh! Okay. You just get +5. Granted, +5 hit isn't much, but he gives it to everybody. So it fuck with the range. You get +5 hit. Okay. If it was adjacent allies, that'd be crap, but all allies, that's good. I'll give that to B tier, because +5, again, +5 isn't much, but everyone gets it regardless of where they are, so props. Now we've got the kids' personal skills. Okay. Yeah, also, just a heads up, for this one and the next one, the personal weapons, I'm not doing any of the amiibo characters. Sweet Tooth. When choosing to wait, 4 HP is recovered. Unlikely, because he's either going to be thieving or attacking, or opening a door. Not, yeah, and 4 HP is fuck all. If it was like 10%, fair enough, but then again, 4 HP might be 10% if he's got 40. But, no. Prodigy, that's Caldonia. If Caldoria's strength or magic is lower than the enemy's, +4 to damage dealt. So, for her, if she's weaker, again, that's the same as Thingy's one. Yeah, Pride. So, yeah, what did I put Pride? Same situation. And again, this one's for magic too, so even better. Wait, that one was lower level. No, but this one's lower stat. But again, nothing to gain, nothing to lose, everything to gain. So, yeah. Prodigy. Oh, that's A tier one. Again, nothing to lose, everything to gain. So, props. Okay. Born Steward, that's Diet. When fighting in my castle, +20 to hit and avoid, +2 to damage. That's the thing. That's fine, but it's my castle. If you're not doing my castle, it's fucking useless. I gotta put this in E, because it's, like, at least with some of the other ones, you can at least use them in the main game, like the maps, even if it's situational as fuck. This one, granted, you can say the same for Niles and Orochi, only works for my castle, but you play in the maps to get them in my castle. This is just battles in my castle, which not everyone's gonna do. So, yeah, it's too situational. Fierce counter. When a male enemy initiates the battle, Forrest deals +2 damage. So when Forrest is attacked by a dude, again, very situational, and he has to be attacked, which is, for Forrest, is unlikely. And +2 damage is cool though, but it's really unlikely to happen, because Forrest is more of a attack from range healer type dude. So, for one thing, if he's got staffs only, he can't even attack, so yeah. Okay. Hisama. Calm. When choosing to wait, +4 skill and res. That's better, because it means you're better like for a defensive stance. Okay, that's cool. So better hit rate and better magic, and better magic resistance. So not bad, actually. Not bad. I would put that in. Granted, it's not likely to happen because of the type of person he is. I'll be generous and put that in the B tier, because, the skill and res is nice. Ignatius. Guard of Bravery. When Ignatius is the lead unit, or in attack, or guard stance, so he's a lead unit, -2 damage on support and Wait, minus 2 damage taken if unsupported +2. So he pretty much needs. So if you have a support, you get less damage taken. That's great. If you don't, so it's ew. It's a 50-50. Again, I put that in C then because granted you're likely to pair up with him regardless. But also he needs to be the lead because wait in attack. Yeah, he has to be the lead unit. So if he's in the background, it's useless. But yeah, so I put that in C. Guarded bravery because also you need someone on your side. Where is? I don't think they have it. Oh no, there it is. Yeah, sorry, my bad. So sometimes the symbols throw me off. Okay. So next is Draconic Air. Alright, this is Kana's one. If Kana has a Dragonstone equipped at the beginning of the turn, they get 15% of their HP max HP back. Again, if you're using Dragonstones, cool. Again, that makes her great for tanking. I usually find with Kana I'm using the Yato more or like a sword more than the Dragonstones, but if it's there, especially for tanking purposes, that's pretty cool. Yeah, again, so if you're going tank Kana, then absolutely. So yeah, I put that in B because it works with what the point of the Dragonstones is. The Dragonstones if you want to play more defensively and you get your HP back. So yeah. Okay, Optimist, Kuragi. When choosing to wait, +4 speed and +8 luck for the next turn. Until the next turn. So I take it that's meant to be more defensively? Granted, Kuragi usually doesn't have speed issues. So unless you wait, then there's dance. That's weird, but yeah, it's a nice idea, but it definitely seems strange. Like again, if you want Kuragi to tank, the +4 speed helps, so he won't get double and stuff, and he probably has a better chance of doubling. But odd, the luck helps too, but feels odd. Definitely feels odd. I'd put this in C. Again, it's nice. Again, the stat boosts are nice, but the situation just feels questionable. Because usually with Kuragi, if you're gonna you're more likely to just attack someone. Kuragi's more the type to flank and attack as opposed to tank. Okay, Lucky Charm for Midori. With skills that with an activation rate dependent on luck are boosted by 20%. That's pretty cool. Again, situational, but pretty cool because there are quite a few luck-based skills, and 20% boost means they activate quite frequently. So yeah. Again, depending on inheritance, she can really, really benefit from that. So it definitely comes down to whether or not she has those skills. But if she has them, so yeah, C tier. If she has the skills, great. If not, useless. Wait, this one's weird. Haiku. If Mitama begins her turn with allies adjacent to her vertically. So if someone's next to her vertically, so like that direction, she recovers 7 HP and the allies recover 5. That's good if you're doing support and working with someone. It's a bit, obviously it requires orientation. The +7 and the +5 is nice though. That's usually about a little bit more, if not the same as the 10 to 20% HP back. So nice idea, bit gimmicky though. I put that in D because it's really gimmicky. Also because she's the archer type and the healer, she might be a space away. So yeah. Nina, Daydream. When Nina is adjacent to 2 male allies in guard stance, +2 damage given. And -2 damage taken. So they've got to be in guard stance. And she's got to be next to them. That's weird, because Nina will usually be flanking or somewhere elsewhere. She won't be adjacent to them unless directly behind them. So yeah, nice idea, but the situation seems weird. How likely is that to happen? Granted, I might be thinking about it wrong because I'm thinking that she's got to be she's got to be there and they have to be either right beside her or one there because it's got to be adjacent to 2 male allies. No, when Nina is adjacent to 2 male allies in guard stance. So yeah, for me it just seems like you're asking a really specific setup. Again, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. This one, okay. Bibliophile. If carrying 3 or more tomes scrolls, +10 to crit rate. That's easy. Just give her tomes and scrolls, and she's get +10 crit. That's fan-fucking-tastic. And again, for Ophelia, she's gonna do it. I'm putting that in S because it's not the biggest thing in the world, but all you have to do is just load her up. Easy enough than +10 crit. That's brilliant. Fortunate Son. Allies within 2 spaces receive +15 to their critical evade, while Percy critical evade is boosted by 5%. By 5. Okay, that's cool for the critical evade. Granted, critical evade, some weapons can't even critical to begin with, so I'd put that in B because critical evade is cool, but it's not as useful as just normal evade. Fortunate Son, so that goes there. And again, the 2 spaces really helps. Vendetta, that's Rajat. Okay. When Rajat enters combat against an enemy she previously battled, she uses +4 damage. So that's kind of like Leo's one if like the enemy isn't at HP. But this one is like, so let's say Rajat takes a defensive stance. They attack, and then she attacks afterwards. She gets thingamajig. So it's good if you want to play defensive. So that's not bad if you want to play defensively. I'll put that in B tier, because again, if you're playing defensive, Rajat can be pretty useful. If you build her up to be a tank, then the next turn she'll just fuck you up. Okay, playthings. At the start of Selkie's turn, all adjacent enemies lose 5 HP. That's cool. So again, if Selkie's tanking and she's surrounded and they lose 5 HP, not bad actually, not bad. So again, if you survive Selkie, you're gonna suffer. So yeah, that's a genuinely good skill, especially because Selkie's really fast and she can tank pretty well just because of her speed. So yeah, again, granted, because she's so fast, the enemy might not survive, but still, I put that in B at the very least, just because I feel like with Selkie, she's quite like, she's pretty high on the offense. Perfect pitch. When using Rally, allies within 2 tiles who have lower HP than Shigure will receive 10% of their max HP. Okay, but that's when using Rally. Shigure will more than likely be singing, I imagine? If you can, again, I can't remember how Shigure works in Fate. But if he's rallying, so you get Rally and HP back. So that's pretty cool. Again, if you're using Rally and you get HP back, that's really good. I'll be generous and give it an A. But just because, again, like, you get HP plus Rally skill. I mean, if you're stacked up with Rally skills, that's some big boons. Yeah. Noble Cause, Shiro. When Shiro is the lead unit, if the support unit doesn't have full HP, he deals +3 damage, but also takes +1. That's the thing. Because if Shiro's leading, the support unit, they could be at less. If they're supported from turn 1, then it's useless. So Shiro's one is more so a case of, like, he's coming to the rescue at the last minute. It's cool, but I feel like it's not likely to happen, because usually with a support unit, Shiro will either be the one out front regardless, and the other unit will be fine, or if you're using pair up at the start, then that doesn't really happen. So I put that in C. I'm sure there's definitely ways around it, like make it really good. Gallant, Siegbert. If Siegbert is supporting a female ally, the lead unit will deal +2 damage. Again, situational. It has to be female and it's +2. So C tier, because again, it has to be a female. Sisterhood, Soleil. If Soleil is supported by a female ally, +2 and receives -2. Again, same situation. Has to be female. So situational. Again, like when it's reliant on the enemy being a specific gender or the allies being a specific gender, you know, it's too situational. So Sophie mischievous. When Sophie initiates combat, if her attack connects, the enemy's clothing is stripped and will suffer -3 defense afterwards. That's cool, because again, if Sophie attacks you and you land, you get debuffed. So if you survive, you still lose the defense. So I'd put that in A actually, because again, you just get, it's like sealed defense, if you will. It's like a very own sealed defense. Plus you're stripped naked. Goodie basket. Okay, at the start of the turn, Valoria has a luck chance of recovering 10% HP. It's not bad. Again, because at the start of the turn, if you get lucky, you can get an extra boost of HP. It's alright, but again, it's only 10% and it's luck based, so C tier. There's 2 more here, but that's... Anna and Fuga. Okay, Anna's one. If Anna initiates combat, defeats an enemy, she has luck chance of receiving gold. Yeah, I'll put that in C because whatever. Because again, I like the whole gold for Fuga. If Fuga's HP is not full, he will receive 10 to hit and avoid. That's cool, because again, if Fuga's taking hits, then he gets more chances to dodge. Not bad, actually. I'll put that in B. Okay, so skill-wise, it's mostly B, C tier. There's some nice ones here, but again, remember, personal skills aren't meant to be uber game-changing, aside from, like, capture. But generally speaking, while there's some pretty crappy ones, mostly B, C tier. So solid stuff overall. Quite a number of A's, actually. So yeah, solid stuff. Okay. So the last one we're doing, I had to make this tier list myself. So this is the personal weapons one. So you've got like Kagero's Dart, Kaze's Needle, Perry's Lance, Siegfried, Selena's Blade. So what I did was I picked out the weapons that are exclusive to a character. They have to be named, like either named or like, you know, legendary weapon, that type of thing. But I only picked one because, like, Takumi's also got a katana, but I picked the Fusion Yumi because that's his legendary weapon. The same way Xander's got a lance, but he's using the Siegfried. So I'm just going to rank these in terms of, like, which ones I think are the best and worst and this, that, and the other. And on standby, I've got their stats because some of the stats vary a lot. So let's start with the first one, which is Hana's katana. So it's a C rank 1, 6 might, good hit rate, -10, doubles weapon might during counter attacks. So... is that either the enemy initiates or you hit first, they hit back, and then you hit again and it gets more extra stuff. So cannot make a follow, but it can't make a follow-up attack. Doubles weapon might during counter-attacks. So that's more so on enemy phase then, if it's a counter-attack, or something like that, I'd imagine. That's a cool idea. Not doubling sucks, but having what could be 12 might and 90 hit, that's not bad actually. Granted, I'm a bit iffy on how it works. In the comments, if you want to explain how it works, the whole counter-attack thing. Like, is it a case of, if Hannah gets hit on that attack and she hits back, then it's doubled? Okay, so that works. That's quite cool. Especially because it's got 10 avoid. It's meant to be more of a, you know, punish weapon, if you will. Okay, it's more of a punish weapon. I put that in C tier, and it's got 90 hit, so 12. I personally, you know, I put Hannah's Katana, especially if you're playing more defensively. I'll put it in B tier. Again, I put the names next to it just to be sure. I put that in B tier because if you're playing more defensively, it can be really cool if you don't have the best dodge, but you know you can take the hits. Like, let's say you're a tanky unit. Let's say you're Hinata. You can't really dodge, but you take the hits. You get hit, dealt like 5 damage. You just swipe back with what potentially might be 18. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Next. Yeah. Okay. Hinata's one. Okay, Hinata's one. That's 9 might, 85 hit. You might, again, you double might on attack. So if you initiate, doubles might, so you get 18? Shit. But you lose that and cannot perform follow attack, so it's a 1-hit only attack, but you get debuffed and you're weaker. The hit rate's good, it's a B rank one. But 9, again, double might on attack? That's... yeah. That is 18 might. That potentially one-shot someone, especially the weaker units. The debuffs definitely hurt it, but I'd put this in the same tier, because that... yeah. That definitely... it's more of a one-time thing, because you've got to worry about, like, because again, your strength gets lowered, but... yeah, dang. I'll give it props. That's a lot of might. That's a lot of might. Okay, next. The Reginto. 11 might, 80... Ryoma only. When you get +1 speed and -1 res defense when equipped, and you get +4 strength 1 in inventory. S tier. Those, the Reginto and stuff, they're fucking ridiculous. Ugh, it's so good. And again, the +4 strength for a sword master is amazing. Granted, it's a bit frailer, but Ryoma just dodges anyway, and he's already got decent bolts to begin with. So yeah, Ryoma's one is... yeah, we all know Ryoma's one's fucking nuts. Next. Laszlo's blade. Okay, so that's speed +3, but you got less defense and res. 8 might, decent hit. Okay, so that's more of a glass cannon one, where you're weaker, but you're faster. The 8 might's solid. And the 80 hit isn't bad either. But, again, the less defensive res, but the highest speed. I put that in C, because the highest speed can definitely help. Yeah, so Laszlo's blade. There you go, C. Again, the speed's nice, Okay, Selena's blade. That's 7 might, 90 hit, 10 crit. Dodge -5, makes follow-up attacks more difficult to perform, so you lose speed? Well, what's the point? All you have is high hit rate and a little bit more crit. And dodge, again, you lose speed and dodge for only 7 might. If they buffed the might, or made it 1 to 2 range, I could maybe get it, but no, this is... no, again, the hit rate alone is not... no. Sorry, Selena's blade. No, I don't see the appeal of it. What if it... again, I don't see the appeal, because, again, all you get is high hit rate. If you want damage, just pick a different weapon. Okay, Siegfried. So Xander only. So 11 might, 80 hit, 1 to 2 range, dodge +10, and defense -4. So it's going full in on defense. But oh god, yeah, that's S tier as well. Siegfried is beautiful. I fucking love Siegfried, and it plays into Xander's role really well. So does Reginto with Ryoma. It plays into his role really well of being a tank. Because yeah, I know Xander's a paladin, but he's built like a great knight and just plays into it so well. Okay, next up. The Omega Yato. Okay, so I went with the Omega one because that's the full form. So, Amazing Might, 1 range only, 10 crit, 10 avoid, 85 hit, outer only, critical evade +10, grants 1 inventory, so you get massive stat boost, and you deal 3/4 damage as opposed to half with Dragon Skin. This should be S. This should be S, but there's one thing holding it back. It's a 1 range weapon only. Granted, the attack power is amazing. The buffs are amazing, but you can't, again... unlike Ryoma and Xander, you cannot counterattack with this at 1-2 range. If it had 1-2 range, oh my god, this would probably be double S tier, but I'm going to put it in A because it lacks that 1-2 range attack. If it had that, it would have easily. Like, everything else is amazing, but it's only, again, if you're getting swarmed by enemies with core range, granted, if they point blank you, it's no problem, but some might attack you from a distance. Yeah, so... Okay, next. Tsubaki's Pike. Okay, doubles might when wielded skill is higher than the enemy, so it's 8 might. 8 might's okay. D rank, so easy to use. So early game it's pretty useful. The 4 might, if the enemy skill's higher, then it's really weak. I put that in C, because early game it can actually be pretty useful. Tsubaki's Pike, where is it? Here we go. Yes, I put that in C, because having 8 damage with a lance, not too bad actually. And again, it's relatively easy to activate. For after that, wrong button. We have Oboro's Spear. B rank, 14 might, 7, okay. Makes a follow-up attack more difficult to perform, so it's speed -3. It's not impossible, but you can perform it. And after you use skill, strength -2. Okay, this is more of a one-use item, but the 14 might is impressive, and the 75 hit rate isn't too bad either. So, it can be dangerous, but the high might is useful. I'd put that in C or B. I put that in C because, again, the debuff doesn't help and the less speed doesn't help either, but the attack power is very, 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 very nice. The attack power is very much appreciated. Now I've got Hinoka's Spear. So that's 8, okay, C rank. Defense res -1, a nimble weapon. What? Okay, you get more avoid, but the hit rate's standard, the might standard, and you lose res and defense. Why would you use this? It's 1 range. Why would you use this? Just use an iron weapon or something. Fucking hell. Again, that's going in E tier because it doesn't really provide anything. It's just, why? Why would you use this? Okay. After that, Effie's Lance. Okay, that's 10 less hit than Oboro's, but +2 might. Weak to follow-up attacks and makes them more difficult to perform, so you lose 5 speed, but it's C rank, easier to use, and it's 16 might. Okay. I personally would put that in B tier, because, again, the debuff is awful. There's no denying that. But it's C rank, and the damage you can do with this fucking thing is amazing. Not only for single attacks, but if you, like, let's say you kill someone, like, you give it to Perry. Perry uses it, one-shots a unit. And then you have someone follow up, like, that's free, and then you have Perry follow up behind you. Oh my god, again, the damage output of Effie's Lance is fucking ridiculous. And you can use it at C rank, which is really useful. So I'm, again, a bit of personal bias, I put it in B. Holy shit. Perry's Lance, speaking of which. 2 might. Oh boy. 1-2 range, like a javelin. Okay. Weak to follow up, you lose. And you can't. Oh, no, that's shit, man. Perry's Lance is fucking shit. I get it's meant to be 1-2 range, but you know what it should have had? Give it 8 to 10 might. So that it's a 1-2 range weapon with good might, but you can't follow up attack and you lose the debuff. But if you gave it good might or something like that, or high crit rate, fine, but. Oh no. No. That is a. Oh, god, that's a shit weapon. That is actually, oh, sorry. And there's a reason not to fucking use that. Damn! Damn! Damn, that's bad. Okay. Rinka's Club. That's right, so... Okay, 8 hit, that's normal, C rank. Dodge -5, lose speed. Crit's alright. Okay, I won't put this in the thingamajig, I'll put this in D. It's not that great, but the crit, the hit rate and the crit's nice. Okay. Well, for a club, that helps. So, yeah. Rinka's Club, Rinka's Club, Rinka's Club. There we go, D tier. Okay, after that we have Fuga's Club. Okay, Fuga. Okay, good might, speed +3. Okay. Yeah, alright, B, that's nice. Okay, you lose the defense and res, and you lose the skill and strength, but you recover 1 each turn. But the 13 might and the 80 hit is fantastic. Like, for a club, that's really good. I wouldn't put it as high as A tier, because you lose quite a few of the debuffs, but definitely B tier. Yeah, Fuga's Club. That's, that's really nice. The 13 hit and the 80, yeah, that's really, really useful. Okay, after that, Baruka's Axe. 13 might, okay. Critical evade -20. Enemies hit critical hits deal more damage. Ability to double attack +5. So they have a high chance of doubling you, but this is basically a full-on, like a super souped-up critical axe. Okay, it's very risk versus reward, because again, if you get the, like, they get basically +20 crit, and they get +5 to basically double attack. But if you critical, and does more damage. Yeah, so I put that in C. It's very risk reward, but goddamn. After that, we have Artha's Axe. Male units only, defense +2. It's alright. D rank, good. Alright, hit rate's a bit low, but good might. Defense +2, given to male units only. Situational, but useful. The +2 defense is nice. So I'll put that in C. Again, it's a fine weapon. It's a fine weapon. Okay. After that, we have Camilla's Axe. Okay, this is female only. This was 12 and 80. That's really good. Res +2. You lose the thing, but get it 1. I put that B because the 12 might is pretty good and a high hit rate. 12 might, high hit rate. Yeah. So same as Fuga's one. Same as Fuga's one. Yeah. It's funny because in Heroes, it's like I swear it's like her own brave weapon or something like that. I can't remember. Or it's Shashtamon. One of the two. Setsuna's Yumi. So, okay. 7 hit might. The hit rate's awful. Enemies lose on each turn. Recovers by 1. Okay, so this weapon, the hit rate's terrible, but if you land a hit, the enemy's massively debuffed. Skill, defense, and res, so they're really easy pickings. I put this in C because, again, the hit rate's awful. It doesn't do much damage, but the debuff on the enemy is nice. If it was like they debuff, like, let's say speed as well, then I'd maybe bump up, but they don't. So, Setsuna's Yumi. Again, yeah, it's not meant to kill, it's meant to maim. But maim it does. Okay, Makoto's Yumi. So that's 13 might, impressive. Not the best hit rate, B rank. Defense -2, restores HP every turn. Okay, so you're weaker, but you get HP back. And thingamajig. Okay, that's not bad actually. Especially with the 13 might, and the hit rate isn't too bad because of archers. And you get HP back. I'll put that in B. I'll give it props because again the HP without the HP back I put it in C, but the HP coming back that's quite nice. Fujin Yumi. Okay, I know people love this one. 70 hit, 14 might, which early game 14 might is amazing. Takumi only, grants the ability to lower the movement cost of terrestrial terrain while in inventory. So really good, but I have to put it in A because unless you have the skill, it can't counter it. It can't 1-2 range. But as far as being a bow goes, it's really damn good. But I've got to put it in A because it's, you know, it's incapable of the 1-2 range thing. But again, that fucking 14 damage early on. Again, Takumi can do like up to 27 to 30 damage just at base. It's ridiculous how powerful the Fujin Yumi is. But it lacks that 1-2 range unless you have the skill. But it's not 1-2 built in, which would have helped. Niles' bow. Wow, that might is terrible. Fatal hit leaves enemy with 1 HP. So I reckon this is like for the capture mechanic. Cannot make follow-up attacks, defense and res -2. Okay. The bow itself is absolutely god-awful in terms of just any other unit. For Niles, it works, so I'll put it in D tier. The bow is shit, but for Niles' capture mechanic, I get it. Also, if you want to know, No, it actually doesn't work like that. So I was just going to say, if you wonder who's got a thingy weapon, look at them as an enemy, but it doesn't work like that. Okay, so Niles' bow works for him, nobody else. Except maybe Orochi, because again, if you reclass her. Alright. After that, Kaze's Needle. So, 3 might, low, but 90 hits, okay. After attacking, grants allies within 2 spaces speed +4, and then you debuff the enemy. Very, very nice. Again, even though it's, again, doesn't do much damage, but the speed buff is really, really useful, and they're minus speed, so you will, unless you've got a weapon, either you're really slow, they're really fast, or you've got a weapon that won't let you double, you're going to double them. So I put that in B or A. I put that in A because again the buff is amazing, and it's two hours, so you can get a lot of people there. Because again, the buff is amazing, and again, the ninjas aren't always out to kill; they're more so out to debuff anyway. So it just adds to that. So props. And then we have, after that, Saizo Star. Same thing, but they drop strength, and you get increased strength. So again, same situation. Yeah, so again, I do the exact same way. The rank, okay, yeah. Same situation, so A tier. Again, buff strength, hell the fuck yes. Hell the fuck yes. Because even if it's just one enemy, you still buff everybody else. Okay, so Kagero. That might is pathetic, but it's D rank, so it's easier. You got Higher Void, okay, a blinding weapon. Enemy loses, okay, so they lose defense and also skill, but its thing is really poor. Like, it's weak, it's really fucking weak, but it's easy, but it's early, something you can use early on, you can really debuff them. Okay. And you got Higher Void as well. Alright, I put that in... C or B? I put that in... Alright, I'll put that in B. I'll be generous with Kagero. Because, again, it's meant to debuff the enemies. It doesn't really buff you, but it definitely debuffs the enemy with not just the normal defense drop, but the skill drop is massive, so you probably got a high chance of avoiding them just because they got shit hit rate. Okay, I'll be generous with Kagero. Felicia's Plate. Okay, so the base might is 4, but it's a magical weapon. Enemy loses strength, defense, and res. Recovers on each turn. See, this weapon I really like because Felicia, when it comes off her magic stat, the Flame Shuriken does it better, but for relatively early on, and only at C rank, Felicia can do a lot of damage with this. It's just basically her de facto, knife or dagger, if you will. So I'm going to put that in A because of how useful it is for Felicia specifically. And even then, other units like Flora can use it too. Granted, alright, no, actually, it's stronger than the B, because when Flame Shuriken comes along, Flame Shuriken does its job better, but this is like temporary Flame Shuriken, if you will, but still very useful. Plate made of ice. Who'd have thought it? After that, we have... Jacob's Tray. Okay, 8 might. Defense plus 4. Enemy, after use in combat, skill minus, strength minus 2. Okay, so that's more of a tank weapon. Not bad, actually. It's B rank, though, so again, it's quite high up. But most things are not meant to tank. You know what would have made this way better? If this was like a D or C rank weapon, you use it in the early game of Conquest when Jacob will likely be tanking, with defense plus 4, then it would have been great. Because if you're a butler or a mage, you're more than likely going to fight a magic unit and the defense is pointless. So I'll put it in C tier, because the defense is nice, but it comes at the wrong time. And yeah, so, yeah. C or D actually. Defense is nice, but it comes at the wrong time because it's B rank. I'll put it in D. If it was lower rank and stuff like that, it would have been better. But, because again, it will be a while to get to B rank. Next is Izana's Scroll. Okay, so that's 5 might, 85 hit, 8% void. Oh, weird. 1 to 2 range. Okay, C rank. Skill plus 1, defense minus 1 to doubles might when attacking. Cannot make a follow-up attack. So 10 might essentially. Not bad, not amazing, because again, you only get plus 1 skill, but the 10 might's not bad. And considering how tomes go, it's not that detrimental to you either, so C tier. Okay, next we have Odin's Grimoire. Yeah, so 9 might, 20 crit, critical evade, yeah, critical hits times 4, can't make a follow tap, so it's basically just a killer weapon. Not bad. Again, the 20% of it, but also if you forge it, let's say you forge this and you get plus 10. So I put this in C. Not bad, but if the right build can be really, really good, but yeah. Okay, after that, we have Mistletoe. Okay, Ophelia only, skill and res plus 1, 9 might, 10 hit, not a sword, oh, no, it's not a sword, infinite use, and it's E rank. So I'm going to put this in A, because even though it's not the most powerful, it's E rank, so you can use it real easily, and you get plus skill, or plus 1 to skill and res. Yeah, again, I put this in A rank personally. I really like it. Okay, now we have Brunhilde, Leo's one. So it's 1 to 2 range, 10 damage, the weakest of them, but only by 1 because the other ones were 11. Were they 11 or were they 13? I'm gonna check. I'm checking. Yeah, 11. I was right. So yeah, it's only weaker by 1. You get critical rate plus 10, grants the ability to activate the Brunhilde skill, halving the damage taken from enemy magical attacks while in inventory, so really good for Leo magic tanking and critical evading. Yeah, I put this in S as well, because it's a tiny bit weaker, but the high hit rate for a magic tome and stuff like that, and Leo being able to use it whenever, yeah, I love Brunhilde. Yeah, Brunhilde. And I've got the staves. Yeah, we've got 2 character staves in this. Okay, so first one is Sakura's Rod. E rank, which is useful, 10 uses, 1 to 2 range, 7 ally, 7 HP. Early game, pretty cool, late game, don't bother, but early game has its uses. I put this in C because, again, 1 to 2 range is nice, and having 7 HP isn't that bad, and E rank, anyone can use it, so early game, it has its early game uses. After that, Elisa's Staff, so that's a C, 1 use only, but it's 1 to 5 range and 10 to 13 HP. That's pretty useful, because you can cover a lot of ground and heal people for a decent amount. Not huge, but decent amount, so I'm going to put that in B tier, because that's pretty nice actually. And finally, Lilith Staff. So that one, that's 1 to 5 range, 1 use only, 7 HP to everybody, to all allies located within the range. Wait, hold on a second. Oh, to an ally. So it's only for, oh, it's 1 use only? Alright, I'm knocking that down to a peg. I'm putting the other one in C as well. I'm knocking that down a peg. They're all C. Yeah. Because 7 HP isn't much. Being able to heal everyone is cool. At least this one, again, it's like a physics staff, if you will. Not as big of a range, but 1 to 5 is nice. Okay. So yeah, those are the weapons. Mostly CB for the personal ones. Obviously, the legendary ones are right up there. But Kaze and Saizo, as well as Mistletoe, really, really good. But some of these are fucking atrocious, man. Like, ugh. Really bad. But anyway, so that's the Fates tier list. It's really the longest tier list video I've done, but thank you all so much. It was nice coming back to Fates, and I look forward to doing even more of these Fire Emblem tier lists, and we can cover more about each Fire Emblem game. Like, I'm thinking that, like, I'm still thinking of, like, certain Free Houses tier lists I like to do, like Free Houses personal skills, for example, and stuff like that. So I hope you all look forward to that. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. Be sure to like and subscribe. Really, really helps out the channel and just all the other social media like Twitch and so on to follow. But anyway, that's it from me. I will see you all next time. And of course, I want to say a very special thank you to Wolffox, Shadow Dragon, Lucina21, Degenerate Peach, K-Dog, Chaos Saberline, Vincent Clark, Midnight Castle, Maggieful, Patanka Fan 32, Jeremy Redinger, Farinate392, Daniel Hodgson, Twisted Scarecrow, Cameron Reynolds, and finally Zenny Dragon. Thank you all so much. I love and appreciate you guys. You're the absolute best. Thank you, thank you, thank you.